All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome to All Sports, All Plays Network, the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown, the premier breakdown of college football from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, leading you all the way to kickoff. I am Ray Cruz. My co-host should be here momentarily, Dre Montez. So we'll get him on the show here. We get everything started here. We are going to have a good show here. We got some key matchups that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about our pick'ems that we have set up for today. Also, we have our normal pick'ems that scoreboard. We have it broken down by week 0, week 1. We'll show the win totals of that, and then the total wins, and then we'll give you a preview of what our week 2 looks like because it started on Friday, and we'll tell you that score, and then we'll get the totals of that next week after we break down the college football for Saturdays here. So we got a good show coming up. Be right back in the next five seconds, maybe 34 seconds or something. We're going to take a quick break real quick, and we'll be back to get everything started here on the All Sports, All Plays Network, All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. Dre will be here momentarily. We'll be right back.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. I will be with you all up to 3 hours here from 9 to 12. We are getting this thing started rolling here. We're going to have everything. I would do the pick'ems right now, but my co-host is not here right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start breaking down some of the football games here. Talking about today, we'll be leaving here after 12 o'clock doing the show. I'm gonna be traveling down to Miami to watch the Miami Dolphins and the Jacksonville Jaguars NFL opening season on Sunday. So I will be traveling down to Miami today. That's my prerogative. That's my destiny of going what I'm going to be doing this weekend. So get everything ready here. It'll be a 5.5 hour travel down from Jacksonville to Miami for that game. So this is all about college football right now. We're going to get everything breaking down. Dre just checked his message. So hopefully he'll be clicking in here momentarily and we get everything broken down. Then we can get back into where I wanted to be at in this thing here where we can do our pick'ems, get him on there, introduce him and stuff like that. So we get everybody started acclimating into that. You see our new logo there, our college breakdown logo. I thought it was actually pretty good dealing with that. What surprised me of last week, football games. Send me your comments and tell me what was surprised during week one of the college football season, week 0, week 1, and or the Friday night games too. Don't forget the Friday night games. They had 3 Friday night games. You see right now they'll stay up to date rankings of the college football AP top 25 right there. It's all in there for you, so you can look at it. Scrolling across the line there, that's the updated version of the college breakdown polls right there. So we get everything going here. Welcome to the show. Like I said, this is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown Show. I am Ray Cruz. Momentarily, my guest will be coming in here. My guest host, not a guest host, my co-host here regularly on the show, Mr. Dre Montez here, the Florida Gator himself. We're going to talk about we're going to ask him about what he thinks about the Gators' first game of the season against Miami and what he thinks it's going to be. How soon will this head coach actually last for the full season? Will Napier last for the full season, or will he get fired in midstream of the college football season? Because Gators right now, they didn't look like the Gators of anything. I watched some of the game, but it got hard at the end. It just got really, really, really hard to watch. Watching the Gators self-explode themselves in this ball game. No coaching staff whatsoever. It's no coaching, no changes, no nothing. It's just straight out disgrace. And I've seen Steve Spurrier said some comments about it too, and the some of the news broadcasts around here. So that's a little bit of things there to show of that incident. So, but yeah, once we get Dre in here, we look at it. Hold on one second. I got something going on real quick. I got to take care of. But anyway, sorry for the dead space of air there. Yeah, so that's a little bit of things that we got a little bit look at Florida Gators. We don't get that Florida Gator expect fans part of that. But let's go ahead and let's get this thing started here today. We got a good kickoff show going here. We got a good kickoff thing coming here. I will put my brackets up, but it was made for 2 people. So my co-host is not here, so we won't have the graphics until he gets in here. So number 3, Texas 1-0 going into today's broadcast at 12 o'clock. Texas is favored by 6.5 over number 10 Michigan, the defending national champions. They also coming in this game 1-0. Texas is the defending national champion Michigan clash in a rare meeting of 2 historic programs. That's what ESPN is calling this thing today. Right now, like I said, that if you're looking at the Texas by 7.5, that's what what Vegas is putting at this game right now. Texas about 7.5. So right now, the series Texas leads 1-0. They only played one time. What is at stake here is, the only previous meeting between the two schools was the Longhorns Wolverines was in 2005 Rose Bowl. That's hard to believe that these teams had not met in prior history till that 2005 Rose Bowl. A loss to the SEC Big Ten bragging rights matchup won't kill the college football playoff hope for either team in the season expand. It could hamper, but we don't know how Michigan is going to play out rest of the season going up in here. This is a big game for Michigan. If Michigan can win this game, they take another step forward to the national championship. If Texas wins this game, this takes Texas a little bit of a leap into the rankings a little bit here. So he's a top 10 matchup. Number 3 against number 10. Michigan has a lot of things. Coaching changes with Harbaugh leaving, going to the Los Angeles Chargers. New head coach steps in who was undefeated while Harbaugh was out last year with the suspensions. So we got a lot of things going on here in this ball game that we're going to look at. We got a lot of things here. Sarkisian, can he take that next step for Texas in this building process that he has? Can he take them into a thing? We know what my co-host said last week about Texas. It comes down to October, November time frames when they start faltering. But you got to keep Heward's healthy. They still got Manning in the back notch there. So it's a lot of things that Texas could do here in this ball game. Could mix it up a little bit here. What kind of key matchups do we look at? You got the right tackle, the offensive line this season. A new starter right tackle, Cameron Williams, was named the SEC Code Offensive Lineman of the Week after his first game. That's a big boost for Texas there in the SEC. This is right. This is now Texas in the SEC Big Boy Conference. That's what they call it, SEC, the Big Boys Conference. So they moved out of the Big 12 into the SEC this year. They won their first game as under the SEC umbrella. So now can they take the SEC over the Big 10? There's a lot of things. So we got a little bit of things that we need to watch out for, and so that's a little bit of things. Yours could make himself a Heisman front runner with a big game against Michigan secondary. That's key right there. That's a little bit, if he wants a little bit of independence, bragging rights for himself, this could be a big break for the Heisman Trophy winner. So we got a lot of things that we're looking at here on this thing. Texas native Alex Orion also plays both through touchdown passes, but struggle in United sluggish offense. One or both will have to be sharp against the Longhorns. So you got a Texas native Alex Orange, who's playing quarterback, who struggled a little bit for Michigan in that ball game last week. Michigan has won 23 consecutive home games, third longest streak in school history, and longest since 1969 and 73. Last season, Texas snapped Alabama's 21-game home winning streak. Can Texas do the same thing for Michigan here? Texas has 10 receivers catch passes in the first half against Colorado State. Yours has a touchdown pass in 14 consecutive games. That's another streak that's going to be a little bit of things that we got to look at here on the take here. So I really see this, and yours, number 1 in college football wins with 1,005. Texas is number 4 with 949 wins. Michigan's number 1, over 1,000 wins in college football in their history. So there's a lot of things. So that's a little bit of a thing that we got to expect here. So you see struggles here, Michigan, and yours from a Michigan defensive line with the pressure. So let's bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the all Gator, who is going to jump off the Gator bandwagon, or he's going to stay on that band. He's going to stay on that Gators wagon. What can we see? We're going to talk about that and plus the Texas more. We're going to get his point of view from Who's to Blame podcast, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dre. Yeah. How you doing, Dre?
What's going on, big fella? How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How you doing, man?
Oh, better than good. Better than good, my man. Better than good. Good college
Yeah, I see you.
Saturday.
I see you representing what the St. Louis radio on Radio Row or something on your Facebook page the other day.
I try to do what I can here in this town, this city, this conference. I try to do what I can. But most importantly, it's college football Saturday. Most important.
Yeah. So I mean, if we look at it this way, all right, I got our graphics ready. I put my Carolina colors. I put your Gator colors for our pick'em background.
Okay.
So week 0, that's what you look like after week 0. Right there. 22-3, 21-4.
Okay.
After week 1, I'm 66-8, you 63-11. So total wins after them 2 weeks, 87-12, 85-14.
Wow, that's not bad, dude.
Start off week 2, I'm gonna give you a sneak preview. After Friday's game, you're 3-0, I'm 2-1. So week 2, you're off to a good start there. You know, you picked up a game right there so far on me. So we're gonna get these pick'ems here. But let me get your take on your Gators, man. What is the you think Napier's gonna make it through the whole year? The way he played way after that first game happened?
You know, the more and more I reflect on that game, I want to know what was done at spring practice. What was the fall meeting about? We knew who we were playing when the schedule came out. What was the emphasis of the game plan? Who was the voice in the game plan? Because the game plan was not attacked at all. I mean, we look like a high school team playing against a D3 college team. We look that bad. I mean, we made Miami, they were so comfortable. They were just so comfortable. I mean, it was just, and our coach sounded drunk at the halftime when the reporter came up to him and said, "Hey, coach, what are you going to do at halftime?" He was dumbfounded. Then after the game, he couldn't open that water bottle for nothing. He just took it out on that water bottle for all the wrong reasons. But I lack of communication. And what was the game plan? I'm still confused. I've watched the game 5 times. 5 times I watched that game. And I see all kind of hidden agendas on that game with the offensive line, with the play calling, the substitution. It was just atrocious. That is not Florida football. I don't know what he's trying to do. I would fire all the coaches because all of them had to be involved in spring practice and fall meeting. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way that team prepared for that team in the spring. There's no way possible. It just looked like we're wasting people's time. We're wasting Florida Gator fans' time. We're wasting these kids' time if we're not going to use these kids' time wisely. I never want anybody to get fired, but he got to go. He got to go. But who do you bring in? Yeah, I want you to break up with him, Tiffany, but who are you going to date next? That's the thing. We want these people to stop dating these people. Who they supposed to be with? But what are we supposed to do? Who's out there? Who's out there as a coach, right? Who's the hot ticket in coaching college football right now? See, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't thought about it that hard. I mean, is it a high school dude? Is it a dude that's already at the collegiate level? Somebody trying to get out of a job situation? Who is the guy to go get? That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, that team looks awful. It looked like a 7th grade football team with no parenting skills at home. That's how bad we look. And we've all seen kids like that with no parent at home.
Yeah, that too, and that's a lot of things going on. But I also seen Steve Spurrier came out in the newspaper and took a big swipe at Napier and his coaching abilities. You think that's Napier's fault that he's not? I mean, he's a son of a coach. He should coach better than this. But is he taking on a program that is at a high level of Florida State, and he's not ready for that type of a job for being in a Power 5 conference?
Yeah, he took on more. You know, when people say, hey, you're funny, you should be a comedian. He took this job. His friends told him, hey, Florida got a coaching job. You ought to go take it. And he got the job. This job is more overwhelming than what he thought. It is. There's so much more than just, he's not building people for the future. That press conference that man gave was the worst I've ever seen in my entire life. And I played ball since the age of 7. I've had some horrible coaches, and I had some great coaches. But that is not a football coach. I don't know what he is. He's a seat filler. He's a person wearing the orange and blue. I don't know. But that press conference he gave at halftime and then the one after the game, no, he's on something. Maybe he's a daily dosage of mushrooms, but there's no way that was his response at halftime. He was dumbfounded. He didn't know what to say. He had no idea. He's lost. He's on an island by himself. But I don't know who to go get as a coach. Maybe I may putting my foot in my mouth here, but Chip Kelly, where are you? I don't know who to go get, man. But I have no motivation on the team, no coaching skill set at all. I've been out of coach technically for 5 years. For 5 years, I haven't had a coach. That's how bad that program is. We've had people come in there, but they're not coaches. They're not coaches. Urban, where you at? Come on back. Come on back, Urban. Come on back. It is not the same. That's a bad football program we have, man. It is. There's talent there, but if we can't coach the talent, why is the talent there? Why? You frozen? You froze. Okay. I think we're frozen. He has to get me out of the frozen syndrome. Oh, that dog barking. There we go. But yeah, I think that's where we're at, man. Our program is just, we're a little off key right now. I'm sticking with my team. I'm not leaving. I'm going to do what football fans do. We hang in there. This is what makes us fans. We hang in there for our team. We got to figure it out. But firing him, I don't even know who the hell is the assistant coach? I mean, no. We're in a bad situation right now. This is like your girl cheating on you and your side chick pregnant by somebody else type of situation. All right, buddy. I think Ray kind of lost it. I think he's going to come back here in a second. I think we have a situation. Ray is going to come back here in a second. Okay. I think here he is. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. See if Ray can come back. Second here. But that's what college football puts you at, man. It makes you make a choice, a decision, say weird things about people, because looking back from week 0 to week 1, whoever you root for, did you see the hidden agendas on your team that you root for? Did you see the improvement? Did you see the adjustments? And for the teams who didn't see anything, just had that lackluster spring practice, they just out there running around. I'm one of them. Florida was one of those teams that's out there just running around, and that is not what I thought the football program was going to do in the offseason based on the hidden agenda of what we had coming in, the hopefuls, the NIL deals. None of that panned out in that. We had Miami looking like Miami looked like the number one team in the country against us. I've never seen a quarterback with that much poise. He was never rattled, even on the 2 late hits. Fine. His composure, the way he talked to the offensive line, his audible calls. You mean to tell me he learned all that in the offseason with that team? Okay. Talking about utilizing your skill set. They definitely did it for sure. And that's what we look for, the team to make those in-game adjustments. What Miami did last week against Florida, that's what we all look for with the transfer portal, with the NIL deals, the leadership skill set, the believability in a team to do what it needs to do. That right there is what everybody is looking for. And if Florida wasn't the only game that had that in-game, I guess, seeing people grow up. We had that in that game. We saw the maturation of players right there. And the skill set wise, a lot of these kids were in high school a few months ago, coming to a D1 program and be able to be applicable to the situation. That speaks volumes about the program you came out of. That speaks volumes about your football IQ. And then for the coaches to have that mindset to deal with that is what I'm talking about for sure. My man, Ray, there he is. Breaking down that Miami and that Florida game on the skill set wise, man. It's just, I saw a lot of maturation in football last week, not just in that game, but across the collegiate level in football. I saw people prove they deserve to be on that field, prove they worked on something in the offseason. I saw all of that last week, but just not in my coaching staff at Florida.
Yeah, that coaching staff in Florida, man, I don't know. It's something that I would never thought a Florida team would be like. You know, after Urban Meyer left, Munchak came in, then McElwain came in. Now you got a third-year coach. Last 3 years, the coaching staff has been, you know, up. Munchak, but he's a good defensive coordinator, coach, not a great game managing coach.
His wife kissed the players on the lips, though. That was crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's something that, you know, you really got to look at for Florida. To try to get them back to where Steve Spurrier had them, and then what Urban Meyer had continuation on that way. So,
I mean, Urban built up to the program from UConn to Utah to Florida to the Ohio State. I mean, he built up, and whatever he did when we went to Jacksonville, that was just atrocious. But I think Urban Meyer can come back. I want you back, Urban. Urban, if you can hear me, please, Urban, come back, please.
I don't know if his wife. I don't know if his wife's gonna let him come back because of
because
of the cheerleader and all this other stuff.
College football coaches don't like their wife, so
I'm surprised he ain't got divorced yet with all the stuff that he's done pulled over the years.
Where's she gonna go? Where's she gonna go and have it that good? She has to do nothing. Nothing.
Well, she could take him to the cleaner too.
She was at the club with him. So where's the proof, Your Honor? Where's the proof? She was there with him.
All right, that's all right. Let's move right along here. We're talking about this team right here, the Texas Longhorn and number 10 Michigan Wolverines. When you came on, this is what we talked about. These are the new game graphics. I got 8 games graphics next week. I should have all 16 done. It takes a while to build these graphics, but that's got the new logo in it. It's got a game time. Fox. This game is at 12 o'clock on Fox at Michigan Stadium, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Michigan has a winning streak at home. Texas last year broke Alabama's winning streak at home. Can Texas do it 2 years in a row and break another team's home winning streak against non-conference opponents today at the Big House?
That's right.
So Texas is favored right now by 6.5, according to ESPN's take. But they did have them early in the week, 7.5. They went down a point, so it's now 6.5 in this ball game. I know you like the over and under here. The over is 41.5. Game time weather is 65 degrees. We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You can see it right there. The coverage is on Fox at 12 o'clock. High noon showdown. This is the Wild Wild West against the Midwest. So now you draw the line. So now you take it back in the old days when you're watching cowboy movies. You go outside of the saloon, you draw the line, you walk with 10 paces, you turn around and you fire your gun. Well, today it's going to be not firing your guns at 10 paces, but half and half down in the trenches. How do you see Texas offensive line against Michigan's defensive line today?
With Michigan, I know Michigan played last week, Fresno State. They held them 9 yards rushing. That's no inclination of what's going to go on today. But at the same time, I got to give Michigan his props. We know what happened last year with the program. We know all the off-the-field issues, deleting files and servers and losing a cell phone. I won't keep it football. I won't keep it on the gridiron. I think that defense right now, Michigan, is on a whole new level. Yeah, that was Fresno State, but still the defense need to get that work in. And they got that work in with holding them to 9 yards. I'm not saying they're going to do the same thing to Texas, but Texas, to me, has this problem of the turnover situation. If they can have 3 turnovers, but Michigan only gets 7 points out of those 3 turnovers, Texas can win the game. If Michigan gets more than 7 points off of those 3 turnovers, Michigan going to win the game. Don't let that defense of Michigan wake up. And they at home, the home crowd, the Wolverines, Ann Arbor, that would speak volumes if Texas can come in there and just put on the earbuds, block out the noise. Can they play that type of football? I don't know. I don't think Arch Manning has that in his repertoire. I don't think it's there. But if it's there, I got to see it. Because I don't think he had a challenging game in high school. I really don't. And I'm trying to think, other than Texas going into Bama, shutting them up, that team really wasn't that good if they beat, but it was still Bama. I think this Michigan defensive squad, if Texas can put up more than 20 points against that defense, that's something special. That's something special.
Yeah, I understand that too. That's a little bit of thing here. They got matchup predictor here on ESPN's got 73.8% to 26.2% for Michigan. ESPN is not really showing Michigan any respect this year due to the coaching change and stuff like that with Harbaugh going, all the sanctions that are going to come down their way. They're still talking about if they're going to vacate the last year's national championship game on that with all this stuff going on. How does the new head coach for Michigan put the program back and take a next step above with all these sanctions and all this stuff on the outside? How does he get his player to focus to win this football game today against Texas?
After he cried last year, after coaching that game, after Harbaugh was suspended, I looked at this coach in a very comedic way. But if I was him, I'm not talking about last year. I'm not talking about Harbaugh. I was like, who? I'm focusing on moving forward. That's our problem in sports. We talk about the past so much because we know what happened in the past, the days of yesteryear. But how is that helping the program? How is that helping my program right now? How is that helping me motivate my players by talking about the past? It doesn't help. It only helps when you watch a reflective movie or a motivational movie, not when you continue to stay in the path of being in the past. Harbaugh's gone. The infractions are real. Yes, they're not taking that championship away. Nope. What the NCAA has been through the past 3 years, there's no way in the hell they're going to vacate that championship. No way possible. No. Let it go. You screwed up. They did wrong. It's over with. But moving forward, that's how I would keep the program. I would move forward if I was a coach in Michigan, Coach Moore. But that crying last year, I laughed so much. That was funny. That man cried after winning a football game. I can't let that go. And it was an ugly cry. And you know how I feel about mascara running on the female fans and cheerleaders. I like to see that shit. But I did not expect him to cry last year by winning that game. I mean, he boo-hoo cried. Like his dog died crying.
Wow. That's sad when you gotta cry and stuff. But you got yours who coming into this ball game is 20 out of 27, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The new quarterback from Michigan is Warren, who is 15 out of 25, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The rushing, it looks like it's going to be pretty much even. Gibbs came in with 10 carries, 67 yards, and 1 touchdown. Mullins for Michigan comes in with 15 carries, 92 yards, no touchdowns. But look at the receiving core. This Michigan's got Loveland, who has 8 receptions, 87 yards, 1 touchdown. And Ringo, who comes in with 4 receptions, 70 yards for Texas. So how does Michigan get this thing done on the ground, or do they have to put it up in the air and try to defeat Texas through the air?
If Texas plays this game like they did last week, and if Michigan plays this game like last week, I got to put it on Michigan's defense. That secondary and that linebacking core got to step up. That front they got to put pressure on the quarterback. But we know Arch Manning can run, so got to be weary of that as well. But if they don't play like they played last week, neither team, and we just go off of what the programs are built on, Michigan still has the upper hand to me. I think it's more of an uphill battle for Texas to go into Michigan, to go into Ann Arbor and beat them, to silence that crowd. That's something else. I mean, that's a contract extension right there for the coach if you go in there and win this game.
Yeah.
If you go in there and beat Michigan.
If you look at it right now, if you look at what DC this game is, even though that both teams played, one team played Fresno State, the other team played Colorado State, Texas did not give up any points against Colorado State. Michigan gave up 10. Michigan scored 30, but Texas scored 52. 2 different animals, 2 different beasts. We're not going to probably see a high-scoring game from Texas or Michigan. This could be a defensive battle here in Ann Arbor. I think the crowd's going to give a chance for Texas to stay in it, not to try to take them out of it. So a lot of signal, but now you got the communication helmet. This kind of helps when you go into the crowd. Sometimes you might not be able to hear the communication.
But you don't get that much time. So I'm not putting too much stock in the communication right now, which I think is great and awesome. I want to know who's monitoring that to make sure that there's no violations or infractions or penalty. But at the same time, I get what you're saying with the crowd and the defensive schematics of this situation. But at the same time, that turnover situation, I think Texas is going to have more turnovers than Michigan. I don't think Michigan's going to create the turnovers. I just think the anticipation of the play is going to dictate these turnovers that Texas could possibly have, that and Arch Manning and the whole coaching staff. But whatever the game plan is for either squad here, if they stick to the game plan, this could be a defensive matchup that I think college football world wants to see with these two schools. But at the same time, I want to see a shoot 'em up bang bang, like a 36-45 score. I want to see that some type of way. But can this produce that? If the turnovers get situation out of hand, and if 2 trick plays are done in the first half, that second half going to get wild. That's going to get wild. Like the fake going for it, the punt, going for it on 4th down, an onside kick. I could see that coming. Oh, fumble Rooski. I could see that. Because somebody's going to try to get the upper hand out of this matchup. Yeah, it's week 2. If you're going to week 0, it's week 3, but it's week 2 of the full college football schedule. This could be a really good brand bringing for the college football playoff format moving forward. Whoever wins this game, they both come to him 1-0. But if they both play like they did last week, this could come down to a field goal or last possession.
Now, if you look at it this way, too, Texas had 10 receivers who caught passes in the first half against Colorado State. Mm-hmm. We might not see this happen again against Michigan because Michigan's a little bit of a better Pop 5 top tier team right now. So you got this miss of misleading what last week happened because you're playing against under 5, not a Power 5 team. But now you got to look at this week here. You got to get up for this game. This game is big for both teams. This could give you a right step forward. Which team will benefit winning more out of this ball game than losing this game and still continue on their season?
That's what I was just saying. I think for the college football playoff format that we have now, the new format, the realignment of all these different conferences, I think Texas could have the biggest benefit of winning this game. The fact they're in a new division, the fact playing this game, this time of the year, this matchup, and they come out with a dub, that could speak volumes for the program and for college football. Michigan, on the other hand, it'll be business as well. They won a national championship. Everybody's trying to hang these different quotes and memes around how it happened last year. They still got out there on the field and won the game. You had plenty of opportunities to beat Michigan last year. Now, new coach, new players, new game plan, new situation, but it's still Michigan football. In the words of Bo Schembechler, they're playing Michigan football. But it would be huge if Texas could win this game. SEC versus the Big Ten, talk to me.
Yeah, and if you look at it, this is another thing, too. You got Texas coming in number 3, Michigan coming in number 10, but Michigan's number 1. And most with college football wins were 1,005. Texas come in at number 4 with 949. So that's where you look at it. But it's hard to believe these two programs are highly up in the rankings of the all-time win programs.
Right.
But this is only the second meeting between the two teams. The first meeting came in 2005 when Texas won against Michigan. So it's kind of hard to believe that you can have these top-tier programs only meet for the second time in school history right now.
You got to think about it, man. Look at the coaches. Look at the ADs at that time. They didn't want that reckoning. They didn't want who's going to host, how much is it going to cost. All those were the benefactors right there. That was the whole situation. That's why I like college football this year. Look at the whole college football schedule. There is not a weekend that you can say, oh, I can miss the 11 o'clock game. Oh, there's nobody playing in 3:30, 2:30. There's nobody playing at 7. Oh, that 10 o'clock game is going to be awful. No. This year, the competition committee, the people that did the scheduling, got it together. There is not a bad weekend in college football this year, period. Or as the kids say, purr.
Yeah, I mean, it's way they got it set up, way they got a 12-team, conference, the playoffs and stuff like that. Now you're putting teams in. You can't have like a underestimate schedule. You got to have these teams in playing best teams you can to get your schedule and all that up into the ability of where you can be in that college playoffs format. So that's a lot of things you got to look at here in these terminations and stuff like that. But Texas and Michigan, throwback football, whatever you want to call it. Michigan can play both ways, pass the football, run the football. Texas can do the same thing. So nobody really has a top tier of – I think Texas has a little bit better of a quarterback than Michigan does right now. I think that's part of what you're going to look at. Now, if you can get yours out of the game, put Archie Manning in there, you might get a little of a playing field because you really don't know what his competition level is going to be. Because, like you say, he was not tested in high school at all. This is going to be a real tough if he has to come in. So, That's a lot of things. So, who you got winning this ball game today?
Oh, I knew you were going to put me on the spot. I got to go with Michigan in this one.
You're going
And the
Michigan
only
at
reason I'm
home.
going with Michigan because of that defense. The defense. But I wouldn't be shocked if Texas win this game. But I'm going with Michigan.
You're going with Michigan. I'm going with Texas on this one.
Okay.
I think Texas is going to go in for the second year in a row and beat somebody's home streak. I don't think Michigan's team is up to where it was last year. I think they're going to have a weakness in the quarterback. I think they struggled against Fresno State, even though they won 30-10, but they still struggle at the most point at the quarterback position. I think the dominant defense of Texas is going to get in there and going to have some sack parties. I think we're going to have a sack party in Ann Arbor today, but it ain't going to be Michigan sack party. It's going to be Texas sack party. So that's why I look at it today in this game. All righty. So let's go. Who you got, Bowling Green or Penn State? Is that 12 o'clock on the Big Ten Network?
I'm going with Penn State.
I'm going with Penn State on that one. All right. And my next game we're going to bring up here is this one. Arkansas Razorback from the SEC against the Big 12, Oklahoma State, number 16, Cowboys. Game at 12 o'clock on ABC, ESPN Plus. This is at Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater, Oklahoma. So, my friend, we're now moving from Ann Arbor all the way into Stillwater, Oklahoma. The Big 12 against the SEC takes shape. It's going to be 74 degrees. It's going to be 74 degrees. Both teams coming in at 1-0. What are you looking for in this ball game? Contrast of styles.
Yes,
the
mullet
of Gundy against an outright freaking coach of Arkansas. He tells you like it is, man. So you get the barbecue and you get the mullet. Let's go.
They probably related. Someone down. That's probably Uncle Daddy to them. I wish OK State could have got the QR code on the helmets the way the coach wanted to. He is a different approach to the rules of coaching itself across the board. He tells it like it is in an unconventional way that reminds you of the days of your dad or your uncle or your grandpa. He's that. Gundy is that type of coach. His philosophy is that old, that off the grid. It kind of takes your mind off the completion at hand, whether you know you're doing it or not. You don't know you're digging a hole for 12 feet because the way the coach is talking to you. And when the hole is dug, you're looking at what you can't believe that you did as a team. So I like that coaching style with OK State. But I want to see a shootout here. I want to see 55-45 type situation, 62-56. I could see this happening with OK State because he's trying to bring in the noise, bring in the funk situation with his team this year. What he's trying to do with the teams, an influx of the NIL rule, the influx of being the spotlight player on his team. I see where coach is going with this. But at the same time, the NCAA wants you to keep it within the gridiron, keep it within the hash marks. And I think Arkansas can do that, keeping the reality of this game live and real. But at the same time, the way and the speed of OK State could really take over the game situation here to me. The speed of this team and the speed, both of these squads, they have speed that could really change and shift this game. Where you can go to the bathroom, it's 7-7. When you come back, it's 28-7. That's how fast these teams are.
Yeah, if you look at it this way, this is actually a pretty even matchup that according to the matchup predictor on the ESPN, 42.2% gives Arkansas a chance to go into Stillwater to win. 55.8 gives the home team Oklahoma to win here. If you look at the quarterback position, they pretty much even. Both pretty good days last week. Green for Arkansas was 16 out of 23, 229 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bowman was 24 out of 33, 245 yards and 2 touchdowns, no interception by both. So the turnovers were frequently not there with the quarterbacks turning the ball over. Pretty much there. They got a running game in Jackson in Arkansas, 8 carries, 101 yards and 2 touchdowns. But if you look at Gordon II, he is the big time running back for Oklahoma State with 28 carries, 126 yards, and 3 touchdowns. How does Arkansas have to put a clamp on the 10, put an 8-man or 9-man box, but then that's going to leave Bowman out there picking you apart on the wide receiver part because he's still got Strabelin, who has got 6 receptions, 83 yards. So how does Arkansas combat the dual threat of this Oklahoma State offense that Gundy has right now?
That's what I've been saying. I've been trying to emphasize the word speed for the past 2 weeks in college football since week 0. I'm seeing speed out here on the defense, the outside rusher, the edge rusher, the slot receiver, your money shot receiver, and the running back. I've been seeing speed across the board. So if I was Arkansas, I would not worry about what my defense is doing. I know what I can do offensively against this defense. That's the thing. That's the thing. Don't try to match them. Do what you know you're capable of doing. If I know that I have a fast offense, let's go. Let's go. Don't worry about the numbers of that defense you're facing. Look at the numbers of your offense. Look at the weapons that you have. They have what? 4 different receiver options, I think they have. That's some speed. That's speed. These are people that were in high school that were waiting to get in. Mama on TV. These are guys waiting on their moment to shine, to show you why they did what they did in spring ball. This is it right here. In this game situation, don't worry about what your team couldn't do against that defense. Go out there and carry out your game plan. Stop us. Don't worry about them.
Yeah, if you look at it this way too, Green was on Paul Feinbaum's show the other day, and he was talking about the Pittman and Petrino collaboration. How does these two, former head coach Petrino at Arkansas, now the offensive coordinator, and Pittman, get along here? How did they coordinate with their saying? They right now in the first game they actually did pretty good. But now they got to step up in the contest against number 16, Oklahoma State. How's that collaboration with these two are actually doing with Arkansas right now?
That's Coach Bobby Petrino that used to be at Louisville that got caught cheating on his wife by riding with that woman on the moped and wrecked it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same one. Yeah. Yes, you got the same one. That is the exact same person.
This man got caught cheating on his wife by wrecking on a moped. So many questions. So many questions. But we're different, Coach Petrino, right now. And the way he has his program going right now, I like it. But at the same time, it's the in-game coaching that I like about Coach Gundy. He has those in-game inflections, the applicable moments of the game that, to me, he's obscure, he's weird, the hairstyle doesn't make sense. But when it comes to coaching and getting the message through to these kids in the middle of the game, that speaks volumes. And I think Oklahoma State has the upper hand when it comes to that. Now, the game plan, I think Arkansas has a good game plan going ahead with this matchup. I wouldn't worry about the damn defense. Go out here and do what we have to do. But if Arkansas gets to thinking about if they start anticipating what they want to do, that means too much audibilizing at the line because of the communication factor of the coach and the quarterback. If I see too much of that, the hand signals at the line, that means the game is out of hand. It's out of hand. I mean, Arkansas is struggling right now. They're trying to find their own identity within the game.
Yeah, if I look at it this way too. But the interesting thing about Alan Bowman that I didn't really know was he's in his seventh year quarterback in college football. He's a perfect complement to Gordon. He can spread the ball all over the field and doesn't try to do too much. He completed 25 out of 34 passes last week. So let's talk about the 7th-year quarterback and Alan Bowman. How do you get 7 years of being a quarterback in college football these days?
Well, I think an injury, transfer portal, games of play, what else? Red shirt, medical red shirt, in the NCAA. We had a 9-year receiver last week in the Miami game. 9 years this man been in college. 9. He's almost 30, people. He's almost 30. 9 years. Now we got a 7-year quarterback. Hey, hang on to you. You and I probably have the eligibility left if we go to college right now. I bet you got some eligibility in you.
I got 4 years of eligibility if I go to college right now.
You want to be a 50-year-old football player?
Nah, my knees won't take it right now, bro. My back won't take it. I can barely walk up and down stairs. What are you talking about? Both my right and left knee are shot. What are you trying to do? You trying to put me in a wheelchair? That's what you trying to do. You want to see my wife push me in a wheelchair, and she ain't having that right now.
Listen, so. I can tell by the way people walk if they played sports or not. I can tell if they're over 40, I can tell by the way they walk if they play ball. Watching people walk, to me, I laugh my ass off because everybody's legs and feet hurt.
I got 2 knees. I got to put an ice pack on. You know, you seen them pictures that ice their elbows and stuff. Well, that's how I ice my knees.
Listen, if you want to play sports when you turn 40, it's gonna hit you. It's gonna hit you.
Hey, I had to turn to the old man sport, golf. That's the only sport I can play right now.
Hey, I played one time. I got to get back out there. I want to try pickleball right now. I want to try. I
can't even do that, man.
That's my next one. I'm trying to do some pickleball. Got to try it.
I can't even do it. I got pickleball rackets and stuff. We just got a pickleball court built at the park right up the street.
Oh man, can you hear it? Is it that loud?
It's somebody they out there doing some roofing or something.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
it's loud.
Yeah, you can hit the ball. It's like tennis, but you got 4 people out there.
Yeah, we got a couple of courts around here. We got an actual league here. There's like a pickleball association league here. Like real professional. So I think I'm going to go out there with my John McEnroe headband, get the fro out there, put my tighty whities on, and go at it.
Yeah, yeah, they Oklahoma State will add defensive. This is a little bit of notes on the side here. Today, Oklahoma is going to be honoring Leslie O'Neal into his Ring of Honor at halftime. The school's about 180 miles apart from Arkansas. Arkansas ran for about 279 yards. Jaquan Jackson, a transfer out of Utah, ran 101 yards. Oklahoma State held South Dakota State to 124 yards rushing. So, on that note, how do you see the running game for Arkansas against Oklahoma's defense?
That's one thing, man. Arkansas can run that ball. When they had issues at the quarterbacking helm and all of that, they still ran the ball. When you don't have a quarterback, you can still run the ball. That's one thing Arkansas has always had in their recipe, their game plan for decades here. So I think no matter what, Arkansas is going to get over 100 yards rushing. They're going to get probably 150 in this game. OK State is not going to stop that. I'd be more concerned on stopping the passing game of Arkansas than the running game of Arkansas. Did you freeze again? I can't hear you.
I had myself on mute.
Okay.
Gotcha. My wife was talking to me at the same time.
Telling you, you better cook breakfast when you get done.
No, she had to go back to work. So if you look at it this way, Tyler Green, who transferred from Boise State, passed for 2 touchdowns and ran for 2 in the opener. His mobility could create problems for Oklahoma State defense. So we know Green is a running quarterback. He's a dual threat quarterback. Now, we always talked about on this show, when you have a running quarterback, the 2 defensive ends are got to be at home and they got to rush up the field, not towards the quarterback like they normally could do if you had a straight back passer back there, but you got a mobile quarterback. How do you figure this pass rush, and how do you contain Green in the pocket, not having him use his legs so much? So how do you get the defensive end to picture themselves going up the field when they're used to going laterally to the quarterback? So they got to go up and come back down to force the quarterback in so you can get your help from your defensive line.
If you
So
box rush, he got to come back up the middle. So I will keep that in mind. Keep that box rush effect store. Keep that going. That way he got to come back up the middle, and there's no way they can escape the middle. That's where we get lost at. On the box rush, somehow, the middle just forgets. And now you got a quarterback scrambling, getting 25, 32 yards. That can't happen in this situation. You got to keep it box rush. It's like what they call it, Pop Warner style. Keep it simple. Keep the game plan simple. It's easy when you can keep it simple. Don't complicate the game or the verbiage. Don't do that. Keep it very, very simple. Box rush, attack the middle, win the game.
Yeah, that's simple. That's simple to do, simple to say, simple to not do. But you got to get your two defensive end to picture that in their minds.
Right.
So if you don't get them pictured in their minds, this quarterback could go up in there and you can run around. And if you break that outside containment, he can run for days because you got no help on the outside because you got the quarters running with the receivers. And then you got your defensive line.
Their backs are turned. My linebackers are backs are turned. So you need a spy right there. So we need a spy, what you're saying, Ray. We need a spy on the quarterback. Once we see the situation that the quarterback wants to run, I need a spy. Your job is to keep your eye on that quarterback, no matter what. Don't you deviate from the plan. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on that quarterback, the man with the ball. If that can happen, game changing. But these are young kids. They can't pay attention that long.
I look at it that way too, and I look at it certain things here in the situation that we're looking at here, and the way they are doing things here with the quarterbacks and the different things, different formation that Oklahoma State has ran here. This thing, does Arkansas pinpoint what Oklahoma State wants to do to them today? How do they pinpoint what kind of attack they need to pressure on their defensive side?
I don't think OK State has a defensive game. I think both of these teams will come out thinking offensively. That's how I'm thinking. They both have a great offense. Of course, speed, put points on the board. I don't think they're talking about Arkansas is not worried about Oklahoma State defense. Oklahoma State's not worried about Arkansas defense because they know what their offense can do. When the offense can't do what they think they can do, that's going to be the hiccup of the game plan right there. That's when that in-game coaching, that in-game shift can happen right there. That substitution that we didn't see coming, okay? That play we had no idea they had in their wheelhouse or in their playbook. We're going to see not a trick play, but a play we haven't seen in quite some time. I could see that coming from either or offense in this situation. But I don't think it's up to the defense in either one of these teams. This is an offensive-felt game. But in the end, I think OK State is going to have the upper hand when it comes to offensive production.
Yeah, I look at it too. You got Oklahoma State who's favored by 10 in this ball game. Mm-hmm. So they're playing in Stillwater. They got the crowd behind them. How does Arkansas take the crowd away, and how can they score quick?
I will believe in my offensive plan. That is the overall schematics for me. Believe in what you said you were going to do offensively and just stick to it. Don't stop. Stick there. These are both programs that will run the ball on 3rd and 12 instead of throwing the ball. Think about that. These are both programs on 3rd and 12 would run the ball and have the confidence to do that, to get that first down. These are both programs that are willing to do that. But at the same time, that in-game coaching is the mitigating factor to me on getting a dub in this game between Arkansas and Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Guys
things
thinking
that
out of
going over
soccer,
there too.
man.
So in that situation here, but who you taking in this ball game today?
I'm
Who do
sticking
you
with my
feel?
people from Oklahoma City, and I'm going for OK State. Shout out to my people from Arkansas, Little Rock, Searcy, Augusta, Bald Knob, White, my people. But I'm going with OK State. OK State.
Yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma State in this one. I can't put myself in going in Fayetteville, where it used to be the home of the Clintons and stuff like that. But
You're getting political on me now, right? You get your political facts in the pick of the
well,
college football game.
but put it this way: in Fayetteville, Arkansas, a certain person was the DA who put an innocent man, who put a rapist, put a person in jail. They kept a rapist out of jail. Yeah, so
What?
yeah, Hillary Clinton was
Oh,
she kept the rapist out, put the rapist out of jail, kept him
our
out of jail.
first female president that nobody wanted to talk about, actually.
So, my friend, so we both got Oklahoma State on this one. So right now we got one game separating us. That's Texas and Michigan game. The first one we picked on that one. So there you go, man. There you go. Let's move right along here. Let's go to this one right here. Kansas State and Wildcats at Yeoman Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana against Tulane, the Green Waves. Game time is at 12 o'clock. The game is on ESPN. The American Conference against the Big 12. What are you thinking about this ball game, my friend?
Oh, man. I don't see Tulane standing a chance right here with K-State.
You
K-State
don't?
football program has come a long
Let's
way.
talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's break it down and tell me why you don't feel like that he's gonna be able to stay with him.
I like the building of this program at K-State since the days of Michael Bishop, former NFL quarterback for the New England Football Patriots. This football program has come a long way. They have pushed the needle with putting people in to play on Sundays. They've done a great job of recruiting to fit their football needs. They're not trying to be a Power Five. They're just trying to be a school that happens to know how to recruit football players and play football in that program, under that game plan, under that scheme. And I like that. That's building on your progression, as I call it. And they have done a great job at it. They're not doing big noise thing, big boy moves. They're doing things that stay within the realm of being K-State football up there in Hutchinson, Kansas, I do believe. But at the same time, Tulane, the posse, they have speed too. I like their special teams, but this is a fight I don't think the dog should get off the porch.
Yeah. So I look at it this way too. I look at two different things here with Tulane. Tulane was on a rise. They came back down a little bit last year. Is this year taking off on the rise for Tulane, or are we just going to see another decline, going from a good year, decline again, and then probably in the next couple years they get back on that winning track? Can Tulane really stay within the defense of Kansas State and make that offense like a one-dimensional offense, making them pass the football? Because right now they can run the football, but then it's still inconsistent on the passing game for Kansas State from last week. So how does Tulane turn this into a one-dimensional football team?
I don't think they can do that. I mean, let's face it, Tulane football is dealing with the rejects of LSU and Bama. Let's face it. That's what you're getting. You're getting the kids that couldn't get in there. And if you want to take it a step further, let's take the kids that can't get into Grambling, the HBCUs, and Southern University. You're getting those players. So either they're hungry, disappointed, or they're just trying to hang on for dear life and steal NIL money. And they know they only want to play football in college, and that's it. That's what we're dealing with. That's the realm of a school such as Tulane right now. On the other hand, I wouldn't look at this on how, if I'm coaching Tulane, I wouldn't look at it as what we have to do. Again, it comes down to the game plan. What was the game plan going into this matchup? You can't look at the history. You can't look at the past because you don't learn from the shit from the past. You can't move forward with that to me. But I would look at for what it is, what we have, matchup for matchup, skill set to skill set. Where's the advantage point for Tulane football? I think it's on the special team side. I think defensively and offensively, I don't think they can hang with K-State. But there's this one thing that happens in college football, or throughout football, that changes the influx of the game. It's called turnovers. Whoever can create the turnovers and have the advantage point of scoring off of turnover. It makes no sense to cause a team to have 5 turnovers, but you only get 3 points. Really? Really? So you got to put points on the board when you cause the turnover. That could be the plus factor for Tulane. That can be, if they can cause turnovers and put points on the board.
That could be a lot of things you're talking about, but if you look at it this way, Johnson, who is 14 out of 21, 153 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 interception for K-State. But look at Minish over at Tulane. He's 10 for 12, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But then if you look at Giddings is that playmaker. He has 13 carries, 124 yards rushing for K-State. How does Tulane stop the running game of Giddings and force Johnson to want to beat them? Because if they can do that, I think they have a shot of beating K-State, but they have to make Johnson beat them, not Giddings.
I can't preach that in college football. Stop the run, we can win the game. No. Because when the offense figure out you're stopping the run, what they're going to do next, coach? Throw the ball. You emphasize on putting 8 in the box to stop the run. You put 8 in the box to stop the run. Now they're going to change it to throw the ball. Where's the adjustment on the defense when that happens? That's that in-game coaching. When you see that they're stopping the run, when they're stopping your go-to, your money play, your guy, the play gets 12 to 15 yards. They're stopping it. Now you're getting 3 to 7 yards. What we going to do now, coach? I don't see that happen. When teams that know how to run, they're going to get the run done no matter what. But it's like looking at the Army-Navy game. What do? Run.
Yeah, we know they run. They run the football very effectively in them games like that. But you gotta figure out some way and somehow. You got to figure out some way somehow that Tulane can find a way to stay in this game at home in Yelman Stadium, because this is one of the toughest places to play with Tulane. Tulane plays very good at home than they do on the road. So this could be a heckle and jive team this year, play good at home, be Mr. Hyde out on the road. So, I mean, but K-State's going to come in here and try to take the crowd away by playing smash mouth football and showing that the Power 5 is going to go into this American Conference and destroy a team that's not even manned into the level. So how does K-State force the turnovers for Tulane? Tulane has only turned the ball over once, but not by the quarterback. It was by a fumble. So how does K-State defense create more havoc in the passing game and make Tulane turn themselves over more than what they want to in this ball game?
Oh man, that's shocking. That's shocking K-State's offensive line. So that's being loud now. That's late hits. That's jaw jabber. That's getting the flag, roughing the passer. That's the only way you can shift everything. You gotta change your whole dynamics of who you've been. But I don't see that coming out of Tulane. I don't think Tulane defense can do anything to shake up K-State. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think there's nothing they can do outside and 2 players getting ejected, multiple penalties of 15 yards. I mean, what's that doing? I mean, you're giving them acreage. They're getting the land of opportunity when you do that. They're moving the ball without doing anything. When the defense becomes angry and try to change the influx of the game, I just don't see Tulane doing that. They're going to go ahead and just play football with their defense. And if K-State gets greedy, try to make plays that are not there, put a square into a circle, which is wrong. We all know kids that did that as little, and we said, "Mama, there's something wrong with him. I don't want to play with him no more." I could see that.
Yeah, I look at that too here. And this is a very thing here. I know you like the over and under. The over and under in this game is 47.5. K-State is favored by 8.5. This is all according by the ESPN bets. Odds by the ESPN bets on team there. It's 81 degrees in New Orleans today. Does the heat play any factor with K-State coming out of the Midwest?
Heck no. It's September. Everybody's feeling good. It's not hot
How much
anywhere.
do you think?
Huh?
Hey, I'm gonna read you this one prop bet that I found when I was doing my research on betting. Since you like the bet and stuff, prop bet. How many cramps do you see out of this ball game? That's one of the prop bets that you got
They're
going on.
gonna keep pickle juice over there, so maybe 5.
5.
Maybe 5.
So I mean, that's a little bit of a thing there that you got to look at here too. So I mean, K-State, their last 5 games, the first game they won 41-6 over UTM, and then Tulane played some team SELA. Let me see what this team is because I don't recognize. They played South Louisiana Lions. So I mean, I don't know. Just not playing a tough team at the beginning, trying to get you
right
acclimated into this ball game here. That's going to be a little bit of a tearjerker there on that thing. But if Tulane can do anything, the last time they played a Power 5 team, it was against Virginia Tech. They lost 41-20 last year. K-State beat North Carolina State 28-19 last year in a bowl game. So, you know, they're feeling high right now. So, I mean, that's got to be a little bit thing. So, I'm taking K-State in this ball game. I think the road team is going to take this one. So we both in agreements here. All right, let's take a quick break right quick here. Let's get our perspectives back here. When we come back, we're going to break down some more games. Next game we'll be breaking down when we come back on number 23, Georgia Tech at Syracuse at 12 o'clock on the ACC network when we come back after this quick commercial break. So we'll be right back on the All Sports All Plays network on the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I'm Ray. This is Dre. We'll be back at momentarily.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All Sports All Plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports All College Plays Network. This is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. I'm Ray. That's Dre. We are being here from you from 9 to 12 all the way up to kickoff. I will be leaving at noon, heading to Miami for the Jaguars and Dolphin game
Yay!
on Sunday. So I'll be down in South Beach
You should
in
wear
a
a
few
shirt and get on
hours.
TV.
Yeah.
Get
I
on
can't
TV.
do that.
Get
My
on
wife would kill
TV,
me.
right? Get on TV.
My wife would kill me.
My
Man.
hat from. Get on TV.
But like I told you, we're going to come back here. We're going to talk about Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who is now ranked number 23 in the nation after 2 good key wins in the last 2 weeks. They're going for the 3rd win in 3 weeks here. They're going into I hate this name of the stadium, JMA Wireless Dome in Syracuse, New York. Don't know why they changed the name, but that's all right. Games at 12 o'clock on the ACC network, presented by ESPN. They're playing the Orangemen. Both teams come in. Well, one team comes in 2-0, one comes in 1-0. One comes in a tough victory, not a tough victory, but a mind-blowing victory against Florida State, the first game in Dublin, Ireland. And then they came back and won last week against Georgia Southern. So how does Georgia Tech and Syracuse fare in this game today? Who do you see who really has an advantage right now? I think right now Georgia Tech does, because this will be the 3rd game under their belt. They know what they are doing, running the ball, passing the ball, trying to take the element of surprise. How does Syracuse pull an upset today against the number 23 ranked team in the nation?
I think Georgia Tech is going to have an out-of-body experience. The days of Joey Hamilton at quarterback, the year they tied for the national championship, and they shared that with Washington. I think they're in that realm right now. I didn't see this technology school going this far. But maybe the words of Megatron moved on to this team when he donated the building to them last year. Maybe he did some impactful words. Them beating Florida State, the way they played that game, I did not see the Yellow Jackets playing this way. Bobby Ross would be proud right now of this football squad, in the words of him. This is coaching players that don't want to play football. They just happen to be on the field. That's what's happening to me with Georgia Tech. And would it be a big win if they beat Syracuse? Would it be a big win if Syracuse beat Georgia Tech? No. I think it'll be just a game of football played by 2 schools. Somebody won, somebody lost. I don't want to put too much stock in this game because it's that early. It's still the 1st week of September. Now, if we were in the 3rd week of September, we're talking about this game. Now, that's different, because next month is when the big boys get ready. This is still playing around with your parents looking at you playing the yard type football right now. Your parents haven't went in the house yet. When the parents go in the house, I want to see what you can do there. And that's what I want to see out of this game. I want to see more from Georgia Tech. Prove to me what you've done. We know what the Cuse can do. We know what the Cuse can do in football. But this Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets team, the technology school, come on now.
Yeah, I look at it in your way too. But when I look at it here, Georgia Tech's already played 2 games. King, the quarterback, in all 2 games has thrown 35 out of 45, 421 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But if you look at Syracuse, only played 1 game. McCord is only a few yards behind King. Well, he was played 2. He's 27 out of 39, 354 yards and 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. But if you look at the thing too, Georgia Tech has that running game in Haynes, who has 28 carries, 159 yards, 3 touchdowns in those 2 games. And Rutherford, the wide receiver, 11 receptions, 197 yards and 1 touchdown. How does Syracuse defense correlate not letting King use his feet to the RPO passing that Georgia Tech likes to do now? They've gone away from that triple option, but they still like to run the ball. But they allow that incorporated the RPO into this ball game. King likes to start off, look like he's going to run. The next thing he pulls that pop pass, and it turns into a 5-yard gain into a 25-yard gain. How does the explosion of Syracuse defense keep that explosive play?
I mean, Syracuse is always dealing with the okie doke when it comes to their matchup defensively. They've always had issues in sizing up what the game prep is on all of that, whether it's an RPO quarterback or it's a pocket passes, spread offense, under center. They've always had situation with identifying what's going on. And that's understanding. That's understanding what a school like Syracuse it is, because what the offense can do. When you know your defense is not the smartest, your offensive special teams got to click in at some point. And I think Syracuse does a great job of that when it comes to preparing for the situation. With Georgia Tech at the same time, they're in unfamiliar territory. They're undefeated. Nobody in their right mind had Georgia Tech undefeated at this point in the season. No way possible. No way. Nobody that goes to school there, no former alumni, no current players, no coaches. They're shocking themselves. So let's go with this moment, cuz. Let's go with this, coach. Let's keep doing what we think is working. They're going to go with they think is working. That defense is relentless. If they look at the game film and what they did and how they played against Florida State, they can win this ball game easily. But I'm showing that game film in the locker room before we take the field.
Yeah, that's another thing too. But you got to look at some of the stuff, the keys in these ball games here with these playing conference games right now. You know, if you look at the ESPN bet here, the over and under is 60.5. Georgia Tech's only favored by 3 points in this ball game going into the JMA Wireless Dome. So pretty much, if you look at the matchup predictor, they got 62.5% says Georgia Tech, 37.5% says Syracuse. But the home crowd for Syracuse has been normally loud in the used to be called the Curie Dome. I can't say we got the JMA Wireless Dome. They haven't produced the same values of changing the stadium's name. Could be an effect or two, but still, how does Syracuse put the factor in this situation? This is a big game right now. ACC conference play. Georgia Tech's right now 1-0 in conference play. They play in their first game on the conference, but Georgia Tech is ranked first for the first time since 2015, but faces a road test against Syracuse. So, I mean, a lot of things, a lot of pressure on Georgia Tech, too. If you look at it, I carry that number 23 ranking, and you haven't been ranked since 2015.
Wow.
9 years ago.
Long time ago. That's a long time ago. That's like ever ago. So long ago, they took the foe off. Not forever, ever. That was ever ago. Wow. Again, man, I can't. I'm on this thing about the past, sports, history, and life where I don't think looking back could really perpetuate the movement. I just don't. I'm not a big fan of that. I want to coach now. I want to live now. I want to talk about now, move forward. What can these two teams do now, coachingly, to move forward? I think Georgia Tech kind of has the upper hand over the Cuse, because the Cuse is blown games. They blew a game 20-0 last year, I believe. 20-0. 20-0. They were winning at halftime and lost the game. That's at home. That's unconventional to me. That's non-fathomable to me. I don't get how we got there, Coach. How do we – what? But if I'm Georgia Tech, I'm playing that game film on how we beat Florida State every fucking week that we play. Every week we play, I'm showing pivotal moments from that game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at that situation too, in this ball game, Georgia Tech leads the series 4-1 in the series. They took it down a half a point. Georgia Tech's only favored by 2.5 now, so they took it down to 2.5.
This ESPN bets, or who you got? DraftKings, FanDuel, who's this? Who money?
This is the ESPN bet.
ESPN bet. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they run off. I don't even know what platform they run off of. I don't know if they got their own betting platform now or what. But anyway, so I mean, the Yellow Jackets are here. The linebacker Marlo Wax, who is expected to miss 6 weeks with a leg injury. The Orange hope Cal McCord and the offense can chew up the clock a bit So that's a little bit of a game plan that what Syracuse wants to do. They want to run the ball, take the time away, and keep Georgia Tech high power offense off the sideline. But teams have not done that. Florida State was supposed to do that. They didn't do it a good job. Georgia State didn't do a good job last week against their running game. How you affect that Syracuse inconsistent defense? Can they be effective to stop play this running game because they can't even run the football that good?
It's early in the year. I don't want to put too much on this matchup. I think both teams coming in this are going to go with what works for them offensively, defensively, and special teams. They're going to go with their plus. And if Georgia Tech goes with their plus and what they've been able to do to be in this conversation of being undefeated at this point of the season, which is weird, it's running the ball. And that's putting the emphasis on your defense. With the Cuse, it's not letting the turnovers dictate the game. Not letting a 3-and-out dictate the personality of the offense. They got to get over the hump. 3-and-outs happen. 3-and-outs happen, but don't let that be a negative downfall for the offense. We got to stay positive in this moment, in this realm. Whether it's the first half or the second half, but those in-game adjustments will happen.
Yeah, we look at it. We talk a lot about in-game adjustments, how they start the first and second quarter, and then they make their halftime adjustment. Which team will make the better halftime adjustment? Will it be Georgia Tech or will it be Syracuse? Because Georgia Tech has come out twice in these both games and made halftime adjustments and look completely opposite in the third and fourth quarter than what they did in the first, second quarter. So how does the halftime adjustment for Georgia Tech be effective today against Syracuse?
It goes back to how they played Florida State. They never gave up. They didn't realize they were in the game until halftime. They didn't realize they had the game until third quarter. If they can keep that type of tenacity, that type of composure, they can look up and see themselves winning the game 17-3. They can see that.
Yeah, so
I'm Syracuse. I'm not letting Georgia Tech get comfortable. Late hits, saying shit that you shouldn't say to a player about their family that you know about from social media. I'm being that type of player. Yeah. Yeah.
So, are you feeling yourself on the road team more than are you feeling yourself on the home team today? Who are you taking in this ball game?
I'm feeling myself on Georgia Tech. I want to know what Calvin Johnson said to this team.
I'm gonna take Georgia. I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech on this one also.
I'm taking Georgia Tech as well.
So, all right, let's continue right along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue right along here. I'm Ray, and that's Dre. There you go. That's our name right there on the college breakdown. That's the overlay for the thing. Let's go a little bit of let me see what next game do I have picked up here. Game number 5. That one is okay. We're gonna do a little bit of rapid fire until we get to the Notre Dame and North Illinois game. That's our next game that we're gonna have on the college breakdown, pick 'em breakdown. So let's do a little bit of rapid fire. Who you got in this ball game? Rhode Island at Minnesota. Who you taking?
Give me Coach Flick, Minnesota.
I'm taking Minnesota on this one. This is on the Peacock at 12 o'clock. All right, Akron at Rutgers at 12 p.m. on the Big Ten Network, which is part of the online version of Big Ten, since you can't have 2 games going on regular TV.
I like Rutgers, man. I like the Alumni Association of Rutgers. They got some good, famous people out of there.
I'm taking Rutgers. Here's a burn one. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati at 12 o'clock on ESPN2. Who you taking?
Pitt at the Natty. Oh, man. That's a borderline war right there. Give me Pitt. Give me Pitt.
You taking Pitt? I'm going to take Pitt, too, because I don't know what Cincinnati's got this year. Merrimack at UConn at 12 o'clock. This is no TV.
Oh, Molly Kerman. She would be enthused by this pick. Give me UConn. Let's go Bristol, Connecticut.
I'm going to take UConn with that, too. Troy, the man of Troy at Memphis at 12 o'clock on ESPNU. Who you got?
Give me Memphis. They got a lot of people on that team from St. Louis. Give me Memphis.
I'm going to take Troy on this one. Army at Florida Atlantic at 12 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. Who you got?
Florida Atlantic. All that speed? Are you kidding me? Give me Florida Atlantic.
You taking the Florida Atlantic? I'm gonna take Army. I don't know why, but I'm gonna take Army. McNeese at Texas A&M at 12:45 p.m. on the SC Network.
I like McNeese. I really do. McNeese State. I like them. I like their unis, but give me them Aggies. Let's
taking the Aggies.
It's an Aggie fan waving.
I'm taking them also on that note too. All righty, let's continue right along here. Tennessee Tech at number 1 Georgia at 2 o'clock on the ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus. Who you got?
I'm taking Georgia. If they don't get a shutout, I'm pissed. They better shut this team out 60-0. If they get across the 50, something's wrong.
Okay. Who you got? Missouri State at Ball State at 2 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Ooh, man. Give me Ball State. David Letterman, you.
Taking Ball State. I'm taking Ball State also in this ball game. St. Francis, Pennsylvania at Kent State. Who you got?
Kent State?
Yep, Kent State. This is on ESPN Plus at 2:30 at St. Francis, Pennsylvania.
Man, give me Kent State. I've listened to a high school, Catholic school, play a college team.
All right. Utah Tech at UNLV, the Minuteman at 3 p.m. This is no TV.
Give me Unlove all day. UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
I'm going to take UNLV also on this one. All righty. We're getting to the game where we're going to have another college breakdown pick here that we're going to bring. We'd be Northern Illinois Huskies at number 5, Notre Dame Fighting Irish, coming off the big victory against Texas A&M last week. This game is at Notre Dame Stadium in Notre Dame, Indiana. Game time's at 3:30. This is on the NBC and Peacock. So, my friend, what are you going to look at? Is this going to be a mass murderer? I'm going to get that out of the way. Is this going to be a blowout game here at Notre Dame Stadium?
I don't know because I still don't know who the Golden Domers are. I don't know. That game last week, yeah, they won the game, but what the hell was that? What? Yeah, Coach, I read your lips. I told you it was going to work. What was that at the beginning of the game? Where was that same energy at the beginning of the game? It's like they were trying to figure out what they were doing during the whole game. It was like watching a movie. It was not the best Notre Dame football, but they won the game. They won. The Golden Domers won the game. I get it, but I still don't know. Other than look, the coach got hair implants, something going on. His weird family, all of them look alike. I want to know more about Notre Dame. I want to know more what Notre Dame is trying to do. I don't know who this team is yet. I still haven't seen. I don't know what that was last week. They won the game, but how? What did they do? Other than that big run, the offensive line really didn't show up until late. The defense decided to play probably late in the third quarter. Who is Notre Dame this year? Please explain that to me. I don't want to hear about Rudy. I don't want to hear about Joe Montana. And please, don't get to the days when you had to bust. But who is Notre Dame? I don't know who this team is. I can't. Last week, that game could have went either way. Either way, depending on what school you went to. But who is this team? Who is Notre Dame? Who are they?
I don't know. That's a good question. They have Leonard, who is 18 out of 30, 158 yards, who transferred out of Duke University when Elko left to go to Texas A&M. But if you look at the other side, Northern Illinois has Hampton, who's 18 out of 23, 128 yards and 5 touchdowns. So you got a team that likes to run the ball in Love and Leonard at Notre Dame, the dual threat quarterback. But you also got a team that on the other side who can keep the game close with their passing attack because they have a Rudolph wide receiver for Northern Illinois with 4 receptions, 104 yards, and 1 touchdown, big play depth guy. So that's going to keep Notre Dame honestly here because the deep threat for North Illinois is going to run. It's going to be a real big threat for them because they can't overlook the passing attack of Northern Illinois. So, like I said, Notre Dame secondary could be suspect today in big plays if they let these guys get behind them. Because you're talking about speed, Northern Illinois wide receiver and Rudolph, he's 4.2 wide receiver, 4.2 speed wide receiver. So
4.2.
He's a 4.2 speed wide receiver.
Who's chasing him? Who's chasing him? Oh my God. Oh my God. If they give this man space and opportunity, that's a tug. That's a tug.
Dude, he had 4. This guy have only 4 receptions all game, 104 yards and 1 touchdown. Only 4 receptions. He's over 100 yards.
When you give a kid space, they have nothing but land. And if they can do that, okay, Northern Illinois. But Northern Illinois beating or hanging with Notre Dame, I could see it making sense in the first quarter. But if Notre Dame doesn't figure, I mean, if the coach that good, okay, they're saying what all his coach has, all these tools. He's a Swiss Army knife of coaching. The man has it all. He's the best thing other than a player, but he's a coach. I need to see that. And I haven't seen it yet. I've seen more of his family portraits in him and his man boobs than his coaching philosophy. I didn't bring you here for your family or what you look like wearing that shirt. I brought you here to get me some dubs and get me to a big bowl or the conversation of a playoff or possibly a national championship. Talk to me. Why did you get the job? Why did you get the job? Just to beat USC in Boston College in an in-conference game. Notre Dame, our mother. That's why you got the job? No, it's more than this than you got the job. Prove it to me. Let's go. They don't have a high-quality recruit as Texas, as Florida, as Bama, as Georgia, as Washington. They don't have that. He made the field goal. He missed. They don't have that. This is just scholastic skilled players that have the ability to play football. That's how I'm going to take it. That means you're book smart, but you have the size of a football player. Get out here and play, boy. Let's go. That's how I'm taking it. But I want to see more from the coaching philosophy and his mindset with this program, and I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Well, right now, according to ESPN bets, Notre Dame is favored by 28 points. Over and under is 45.5 in this ballgame. 76 degrees the weather time in Indianapolis at Notre Dame Stadium in Notre Dame. Both teams are coming in on a 5-game winning streak, started dating back all the way back of last year. Last time both teams lost, Notre Dame lost to Clemson on the 4th of November of 2023, 31-23
That's
at Clemson.
the last time Notre Dame lost?
Yep.
It was 23 November last year?
Yeah, November 4th, 2023.
It's my daughter's birthday. Well, after
And the last time Northern Illinois lost was to Ball State on the November 7th, 2023, when they lost 20-17. So both teams are coming in on a 5-game winning streak dating back of last year, coming into this ball game here. So where do you see Notre Dame continuing their win streak and Northern Illinois losing theirs today? Who you got in this ball game?
I'm going with the Golden Domers. My good buddy Jay, who's down in Tampa, Florida. He's a man cave member here in St. Louis, but I got to go with the Golden Domers right on this one. Notre Dame in Michigan, they're doing things in the program that I want to see more of that they forgot about. I want to see Notre Dame go back to what's known Notre Dame football. I'm not talking about Lou Holtz days, but go back to that winning pedigree that you know that Notre Dame is for. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I see what you're saying and everything about that too, but I got Notre Dame winning. I don't think Northern Illinois has got a team that can match up with them because they got to have a running game and a passing game against a team like Notre Dame and a Power Five and an independent team as Notre Dame is. I think Notre Dame's got a lot of things they need to prove on. Since that first game, I think they could get it done because they're playing at home. The midst of Notre Dame Stadium is tough to play in there when they got the Jesus watching over the thing there. Touchdown Jesus, I think that's what they call them. So that's what I'm going with on that one also here. So, my friend, it is time to move into the Big 12 contest. This is the first time Utah Utes is playing as a Big 12 conference, and their first conference game is against the Baylor Bears at Rice-Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. Game is at 3:30. This game is on Fox. My friend, Rising is back for Utah. Can he stay healthy this year?
I still want to know what's a Ute. What is a Ute? Utah fans are Utes. I can't stop thinking of the movie My Cousin Vinny. Utes.
Okay, you ready? The Ute is an honor of American Indian tribe for which state of Utah is named. The Ute. That's what it is.
Okay. Ute. That's why I want to go to Utah. That's why I want to go to Utah one day. That's on the bucket list. I'm going to get me a Ute. Give me a Ute. Dre and a Ute. Dre Ute. Dre Ute. They got the Hawk Tour girl. I'm going to get me a Ute girl.
Oh, God. I knew you eventually you had to bring that in there.
Talk to a Ute.
All right, my friend. Let's get back.
Utah could get back to the program that they were when Florida played them in that matchup, when Urban Meyer was there. That's a different program. That's a different program. I like the coach that's there. He kind of took over the winning pedigree that Urban Meyer had going there. They got speed, but the health issue is a factor. It really is a factor on what's going on, the health with that team. If they had health on their side, I think they could be more in a top 5 situation than a top 15 situation.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got what you're saying on that. But if you look at the matchup predicted on this one, it's 21.9% to 78.1% for Utah. Baylor's only got 21.9% to go to the Rice-Eccles Stadium to pull an upset here against the number 11 ranked team in the nation. Both teams coming in at 1-0. Utah is favored by 14.5 in this ball game. If you're going to be a betting man, ESPN bet said 54.5 is the over and under in this ball game. 80 degrees in Salt Lake City. You're still playing in high altitude. That could be another factor for Baylor coming into this ball game too. In first game, he was 10 out of 15 for 254 yards and 5 touchdowns. Stanley is the leading rusher for 6 carries for 34 yards, and Stanley is also the leading wide receiver, who is also the leading rusher. He's got 3 receptions, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But if you look at the other, Sam Finn comes in at 14 and 22, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So he has a 2 turnover ratio. The 2 touchdown ratio is a pretty even matchup there. Reese has 18 carries for 78 yards for Baylor, and their wide receiver has 2 receptions for 69 yards and 1 touchdown. So if you look at the numbers there, Utah is going to throw the ball more than they're going to run the ball.
Of course.
So How does Baylor force them to run the ball more and keep the passing game in check?
This may be the most indecisive matchup that I really don't know how to address because they both have so much to bring to the table. They both are great football programs. Utah program has come along way faster. Baylor has been here in the conversation, but they always fall late in October or early in November out of the conversation of being a playoff situation. But now to the new format, we know now you can lose 2 to 3 games and still be in the situation of the conversation. This is the matchup that they both need this early in the season to prove they need to be in that conversation when it comes to the playoff situation because of the strength of schedule. And this is a very strong matchup this early in the year for both schools. What Baylor is trying to prove who they are and what Utah is trying to say, hey, a couple years ago, we fucked up, but we got this now. We got this. But the injury protocol with Utah is really concerning to me in this matchup. Is it in their favor? We got to dope the kid up to play in this game, and we're going to resent it tomorrow morning. That type of situation, that's uncomfortable for me just to play in the game. But I think Baylor has more to lose than to prove in this situation. Other than Utah, the Ute has more to prove by playing in this game and competing in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting too on this. But what I found out here is I did some little bit of research on Stanley, the running back for Utah. Stanley ran the 400 meters in high school. A teammate described him as the fastest player on the team. A special package of speed, space plays were designed for him heading into season to be better utilized as talent. Utah's coach Kyle Whittingham says Stanley isn't quite ready to be an everyday down back for the Utes, but says his package of plays will expand if his production in week 1 carries over in subsequent games. He's a weapon. That's according to Whittingham. That's what he stated too. He said he's a weapon for us. At least he was in the first game, and if we can create some more big yardage and chunk plays with him in the future, that could be a niche he could fill for us this year, Whittingham said. And Stanley. So Stanley is a flash of light. So now you got to worry about him running the football and getting broken in that open field, and nobody's going to catch him. So that's something Baylor's going to have to watch out for today too. In this and all the special packages that they have for Stanley, it was quite a performer because he had over 150 yards receiving in that ball game last week. So even though they didn't play nobody, so that's another thing. Cam Rising is closing in on another career milestone. Utah quarterback needs to gain just 22 rushing yards to reach 1,000 yards on the ground for his career. Rising ran for 4 times for 25 yards in the season opener to go along with 254 yards of 5 touchdowns and 10 of 15 passing. So he had a pretty productive day in that area. Right. If you look at it, Utah corner Kenan Johnson will miss the rest of the season after suffering a leg injury against Southern Utah. Johnson's a Georgia Tech transfer, won the starting job in the fall camp, but just played 13 snaps before going down with an injury and being helped off the field. That's going to be a key there. So you got Elijah. Now listen to this name. Elijah Scooby Davis will fill in a corner after Johnson went from the sideline and is listed as a starter at right corner on the latest depth chart released on Monday.
What's his name?
His name is Elijah Scooby Davis.
I'm calling Elijah Scooby parents in this name. I want to file charges against them for this name. Thank you. All right, gotcha. Got to file charges against these parents and these kids' name. Stop. No, can't do it. Won't do it. Can you imagine the name of some of these players on Utah's team?
Well, you got Cam Rising, you got Scooby Davis, you got a Smith Snowden. It's another Utah starter nickel cornerback, Michigan transfer Kareem Calhoun. So I mean, the names keep going on.
Oh my God, these people They're raising their kids to not get a job with these names. Your kid not getting a job with that name.
Yeah.
Cavassier Smoke. Who the hell gonna hire him?
Hey, man, it's college football. You got names, man. It goes all the way back to the day of freaking XFL when they had all kinds of people changing names and stuff like that.
Look, when you get to that status, change your name. But as you're coming up, your parents are responsible for that name. Shaquante Jenkins. What? You're not getting a job. You can never work in corporate America. Shaquante Jenkins.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
Oh my God.
And then Finn, the quarterback for Baylor, Finn beat out returning starter Sawyer Robertson. So that tells you something about that and that quarterback situation for them. So who you got in this ball game? Do you feel that Baylor can go into Rice Eccles Stadium and beat Utah?
I'm taking
the Ute. Telling you that? I got the Ute.
I want a Ute, so I'm speaking into the existence. Dre Montez is coming to Utah, guys. I'm getting me a Ute.
Okay, you're gonna get you a Ute.
Dre and the Ute.
All right, let's switch gears here. Let's go to the Big 12 and Big 10 matchup in Iowa State Cyclones versus number 21 Iowa Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City, Iowa. This is the battle of the Iowans here. We know the fourth quarter tradition. We always like to wave at the kids in the hospital. That's a big tradition I have favored for. This game is on CBS and Paramount Plus. This game is at 3:30 p.m. How does Cyclone come in at 1-0 and against the number 21 Iowa Hawkeyes 1-0? But Iowa showed me something different. They have a passing game going now. They have a passing game going now.
Never thought I'd see that. The last time they had a passing game, I think Tavion Banks was the running back there. I do believe so. The last time they had a passing game and a run game, that's on a whole new level. When you watch this Iowa football team, like I was shocked and amazed that they throwing the ball with consistency and success. That's what I'm talking about. That's the evolutionary factor of the game right here with me. But this in-state matchup, come on now.
Yeah, it's an in-state matchup. It's a thing.
You're not beating that. You're not beating that.
You got McNamara, who used to be at Michigan, is now 21 out of 31, 251 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yes, you heard it right. 3 touchdowns in the first game, passing the ball over 251 yards. Who would have thought I would ever do that? But they also keep the running game in mind. They have 11 carries, 119 yards, and 2 touchdowns on the ground also. So there are double trouble team this year. And then they have a Vander Z, who 5 receptions, 66 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Iowa. But look at Iowa State on the other hand. They also got a passing game at 20. Beck was 20 out of 26, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. But they don't have a running game. They only had Samar the third had 5 carries, 36 yards. But then look at that wide receiver and Noel, who had 8 receptions, 135 yards, and 1 touchdown for Iowa State. How does the Cyclones and Iowa match up defensively against the passing attack of both teams today?
Well, I think it's something new that the Cyclones got to do in preparing for the passing game of Iowa. They used to prepare for just the running game and the special teams, but now this changed the whole complexion of the game. And to me, what Iowa has going for them, now they come in as a 3-headed monster. What they can throw at you for is winning the ball game, which I think speaks volumes for them in this interstate matchup at the same time. But I don't want to take nothing away from what the Cyclones have been trying to do. But the fact that Iowa is growing into understanding, hey, we can throw and run the ball, and we got a pretty good defense as well. And I think their kicking game is above the notch on the Cyclones as well. So with those mitigating factors right there in my corner, that is like wins before the game. We won the game just based on that knowledge before the game even starts. If I'm Iowa, I'm letting my coaching staff and my players know that, hey, we won the game on these points here, guys. Let's continue that, and let's go out here and do it, and let's wave to the kids. If I'm the Iowa coach.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to finish talking about this game and breaking it down and get our pick'ems. Then we're going to be doing some rapid fires all the way up to the end so we can get all these games picked in, and plus the week of Friday of next week to continue on. This is the All Sports, All Plays Network, All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. Ray, that's Dre. We'll be right back after these messages.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports, All Plays Network. This is the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown. I am Ray Cruz. We are coming back to you. Dre will be back momentarily. Let's just talk about what we got going on here in this thing. We got a little bit of Ray says it's fire. I said it was on fire. This show has been on fire all way. We've been having a great time. I'm glad to have some fans. I want some fans to comment on here. Pick some of your they tell us about your game plan about Iowa State, other games that we have talked about. We'll be doing the speed round here momentarily, leading all the way up to kickoff at 12 o'clock. We will have to be right off it right at 12, so we're not trying to get into overtime. So we have some games some rapid fires coming up here soon after we pick this game here. We're going to be doing some rapid fires. We're on game number 19 on the day, the 19th game of the day that we're on here. This game will be at 3:30 p.m. on CBS Paramount Plus. Let me go ahead and continue a little bit of where I want to go with this a little bit here. Iowa State beat North Dakota 21-3. Iowa's coming off of beating Illinois State 40-0. They didn't allow a point, so that's something you got to look at here today. Can Iowa State actually score on the Iowa's defense, who's known for playing defense and running the football? But now you got to look at it this to got McNamara now throwing the ball over 251 yards. So they're dual threat. They got a new offensive coordinator in, made them a little bit more multi-dimensional team. Now they pass the ball, but you can't forget that running game because that's what they're known for, running back. Now they're a dual threat team. Iowa is number 21. They're playing at home. Connect Stadium has always been a tough place to play in Iowa. We have seen games be 6-0. This game, Iowa scored 40 points last week. 40 points. You really don't see them scoring that high. But now they can move the ball in the air. They can move the ball on the ground. This is going to be this is going to be a test right now for another Power 5 conference coming in from the Big 12 and Iowa State, who's also can pass the ball, but they like in the running game. So they're not a multi-dimensional. So they have to. So, I mean, Iowa got to stop, make them a running attack here. So that's another little thing that you got to look at too in these scenarios here that we're talking about today. The over and under in this is 35.5. Iowa is favored by 2.5. It's going to be 78 degrees there in Iowa City. Very big tradition. Even at the Children's Hospital, I think that's the one tradition I really, really can comprehend and really love in this about college football. The pageantry that Iowa has for the kids in the hospital, heart's got to go out for them. For that, I think that's one of the big time honor tradition I really like in college football there too. So that's a little bit of things that you got to talk about right now. But in this ball game here, it's a lot of things that can go wrong in this game. I think Iowa and Iowa State is going to be a little bit of a test of two wheels and two things in this one here. When Dre comes back, we'll get his pick here. So I'm going to take a quick break real quick here. One more break here, and then hopefully he'll be right back. You listen to the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown with Ray and Dre. We'll be right back.
All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. All Sports All Plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the air, we're taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. 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 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Welcome back to the All Sports All Plays Network. This is the All Sports All Plays College Breakdown. Ray and Dre will be back momentarily. Might have to send a search party out for him, but anyway, we got a little bit of things to talk about. We're talking about the Iowa State Cyclones here, like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. I'm gonna get my pick here. I'm gonna go with Iowa on this ball game here. We come back, we get Dre catch up with his picks on games. We're gonna go ahead and do some rapid fires here on games, and then when Dre comes back, we'll get him caught back up on the games, and I'll tell him I'll repeat my takes. Jacksonville State at number 22, Louisville at 3:30 on ESPN Plus, ACC Extra. I'm taking Louisville in this ball game. California at Auburn at 3:30 on ESPN2. I'm gonna take Auburn on this one. They're playing at Auburn, so I think Auburn will take this one very handily. South Carolina at Kentucky. I'm going with Kentucky at Kroger Field. I think South Carolina is a up-and-coming team, but right now I think they're pretty much evenly matched. But I think Kentucky's got the edge on a little bit of a defense and the coaching ability there. Michigan State at Maryland. I'm going to take Fear the Terps. This is on the Big Ten Network, part of the online version. Eastern Michigan at Washington at 3:30 at BT. I'm going to take Washington on this one here. South Dakota at Wisconsin at Camp Randall Stadium at 3:30 on FS1. I'm taking Wisconsin on this one. Massachusetts at Toledo. I'm going to go with the Toledo Rockets there. Duquesne at Boston College. Boston College coming off a big victory against Florida State. I'm going to take on Monday night. I'm taking Boston College on this one. Charlotte at North Carolina. I think North Carolina is going to be a little bit of a different team this year with the need to know about the quarterback situation. So I think that's got to be a little bit of a strong thing about North Carolina football. It's a quarterback situation. The defense looked pretty good. I think they might be a little bit more better on defensive attack, but we got to get better on the quarterback position and move that offense and get back to where we are scoring points on that ball game. So I'm taking North Carolina in that. My boy Dre is back with us here. Search party found him. So we're back. There we go. That's Dre right there. Yeah, I told you I found him. I sent a search party out. My search party team got him. A little midget search. I got a midget search party team, about 4'2" midgets. And they found him, man. Look at that perfect that found
Little people. They out here. They exist.
All right. So I went on ahead and did some pick'ems. Iowa State and Iowa. I took Iowa on this one. Who are you taking on that one?
Taking Iowa.
All right. Jacksonville State at number 22, Louisville. I took Louisville. Who are you taking?
Taking Louisville.
California at Auburn. I took Auburn on this one. Who you got?
Taking Auburn.
All right, so far we on the right side, the pick'ems here. South Carolina, Kentucky at 3:30, ABC, ESPN Plus at Kroger Field. Who you got?
Give me Kentucky.
I got Kentucky also on that one. Michigan State at Maryland. Who you got?
Fear the Turtle. Give me Maryland.
I got Fear of the Turtles on that one. Eastern Michigan at Washington. Who you got?
Give me Washington.
All right, South Dakota at Wisconsin. Who you got? I got. Yeah, we're picking the same so far. Massachusetts at Toledo. Who you got?
Toledo.
I'm taking Toledo also. Duquesne at Boston College. Who you got?
Boston College.
All righty. Charlotte at North Carolina. Who you got?
Charlotte is in North Carolina. Hello, America. Give me North Carolina.
Yeah, the Tar Heels. All righty. Who you got in this one coming up here? Let's see here. Idaho at Wyoming. Who you got?
I am not a hoe, but I believe in Wyoming.
You believe in Wyoming? I believe in Wyoming too, and Laramie. All right, Temple at Navy. Navy showed me something last week.
Yes, they did. They put points on the board, baby. Give me my midshipman. Go
I'm taking Navy also over Temple.
Yes.
UTSA over Texas Tech. Both teams are 1-0 this season.
Well, you know,
you got
like to say that the Red Raiders beat Texas Tech.
That's Texas State, not Tech.
Oh, Texas State.
Yep.
Texas State. Nope, I can't go with them. Give me UTSA.
All right, I'm taking them for the second week. They did me good last week. Middle Tennessee at number 6, Ole Miss. Who you got?
Give me Oxford, Mississippi.
I'm going to Oxford, Mississippi over with you on that one. All righty, my friend. Marshall at Virginia Tech. Who you got?
We are Marshall. Give me Vatech.
You taking Vatech?
The Hokies.
Yeah, they're playing at Lane Stadium. Sandman will be rocking today. Florida A&M at number 12, Miami.
I don't believe what I saw last week from Miami, so I'm gonna pick them this week to win again. I want to see the same shit they did to Florida this week. I want to see the same shit. That confidence, that poise, the throws. I want to see it all.
University of Albany, who are 1-0 at West Virginia. Who you got?
West Virginia. They let me down last week, but I believe in the Mountaineers.
Yeah, I got to go with the Mountaineers. I don't really want to. All the cousins and people getting together and having Nazmatoids and everything else going on up there. Central Michigan at Florida International.
What did you call it?
All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What is the game? What is the game? What is the game you just said? Oh my God. You're too funny.
The Mazna-Taj. The incest is running wild up there. They got all kinds of orgies going on up there, man.
If she's not good enough for your brother, she's not good enough for anybody else.
There you go. All right, man. Let's move right along. Central Michigan at Florida International. Who you got?
Give me Central Michigan. Central.
Oh, you pulled up. I'm going to take Florida International on this one. Gardner-Webb at James Madison. Who you got?
Ooh, I've been to Gardner-Webb before, so let me go with Gardner-Webb.
You're going to pull that one on me. All right. I'm going with James Madison. I've been both places. East Carolina at Old Dominion. East Carolina about to lock up and get the bulletproof bus to go into Old Dominion and the Hampton Boulevard end of where you got to have bulletproof bus, police escort, and you might have to have Navy SEAL to bring you in this ball game. Who you got?
I'm going to go with East Carolina.
I'm taking the Powers. They bring the power ships down today.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. South Alabama at Ohio.
Give me Ohio.
Yeah, I'm going to take South Alabama. Sam Houston at UCF. Who you got?
UCF, baby. Central Florida all day. Dante Culpepper, you.
Yep, that's that one. South Florida at number 4, Alabama. Didn't South Florida almost beat Alabama last year?
Almost beat them last year, 2 years ago, I think it was. But give me Alabama.
Yeah, I'm going to take Alabama on this one. All right, Buffalo at number 9, Missouri.
Mizzou showed me some speed last week. Bruh, I had no idea that receiving corps was that fast. We already know they got Luther Burden.
Yeah.
The third. Luther Burden, the third. Luther Burden. Luther Burden. Yeah, give me Mizzou. M-I-Z-Z-O-U.
Number 19, Kansas at Illinois. Who you got?
Give me Illinois. Give me the Fighting Illini.
I'm going to take Kansas on this one. Stanford at Florida at 7 o'clock. ESPN Plus, SEC Plus. They didn't put them on national television. They put them online today.
Oh my God!
So I hope you got watch ESPN. That's the only way you're gonna see your Gators play today.
I can always see my Gators. I'm never blacked out from seeing any of my football teams. I will always get coverage to see my team. That would never happen. I will always see a Florida game and a Bronco game. You can never block me out. I have exclusivity rights. Yeah. I got my Florida Gators rebounding. I don't want my coach talking to the media at all. You know how Dabo, Swinney, and Dion have restrictions on media? I have restrictions. I don't want that motherfucker talking. No. He sounds like he was drunk off his ass last week at halftime. And after the game, him and that water bottle, come on, man. No, he got issues at the house. I think him and his wife sleep in separate bedrooms.
Yeah. I'm taking Florida on this one. They can't be.
If we lose this game, I'm burning my jersey on the Florida Network. No, I would never do that. But I have to be careful of my words if we lose this game today. Because I don't want to get banned and kicked off the inner tubes. I don't want to be blacklisted.
Yeah.
But let him fuck up this game. We got a true freshman at quarterback. Let him fuck this game up. It's a simple game plan. Don't overdo it. Last week was just just because you have a 6'9" player doesn't mean they're agile or athletic. Maybe they're just taking up space where they're not wanted. Because he's 6'9" and 404 pounds. He's supposed to be a threat. Doing what? What? You push him one way, his momentum is gone.
Yeah, that too. So I got Florida. They can't beat them. Something's going on. I think he could be fired at the end of the day if Florida don't win this game today.
Immediately following the game. During the press conference, I want somebody to whisper in his ear, "You're fired."
I don't even think he'll take the podium if he loses this game. He could be fired at halftime.
I wouldn't mind that. They did to Herm Edwards. Do it now.
William and Mary at Coastal Carolina. Who you got?
Coastal Carolina all day, baby.
Yeah, I'm taking Coastal. Eastern Kentucky against Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I got Western Kentucky on that one. Chattanooga at Georgia State. Who you got?
Georgia State.
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia State on that one also. Cal Poly at Stanford.
He's Stanford. They're pretty much the same school playing each other, Cal Poly and Stanford. But give me Stanford.
Yeah. Virginia at Wake Forest. Who you got?
Wake up in the building. Give me Wake Forest.
You taking Wake? I'm going to take Virginia.
I'm
going to take Virginia on this one. Louisiana at Kennesaw State. Who you got?
Give me Kennesaw State.
I'm going to take Louisiana on this one. San Jose State at Air Force. Who you got?
Air Force.
Taking Air Force. I'm going to take San Jose. I'm going to take San Jose State. Northern Colorado at Colorado State. Who you got?
Give me the Rams of Colorado State.
Yeah, I'm going to take them too. Georgia Southern at Nevada. Who you got?
Give me Nevada.
You taking Nevada? I'm going to take Nevada too. I think they're on to something. They got more wins than they had last year already. They're undefeated, 2-0, so they're doing pretty good so far this year. Tulsa at Arkansas State. Who you got?
Tulsa.
Taking Tulsa. I'm taking Arkansas State on this one. UAB against University of Louisiana Monroe.
That's Alabama Birmingham versus University of Louisiana Monroe. Give me UAB.
That's who I'm taking on that one. Southeast Louisiana against Southern Miss. Who you got?
Southern Miss. No. Take that back. Southeast Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm going to take them too, even though we might lose, but that's all right. I ain't even picking that other team. Texas Southern at Rice. Who you got?
Ooh, Texas Southern, baby.
Yeah, I got Texas Southern on that one. Western Michigan at number 2, Ohio State.
Give me the Ohio State.
Yep, taking Ohio State on that one. All righty. Let's talk about this one. Number 14, Tennessee at number 24, North Carolina State at Carter Fielding Stadium. The Vols will invade Raleigh, North Carolina, the home of the Wolfpack. According to the NC State fans, it's supposed to be the best college football stadium loud-wise, but I don't think so. I don't believe in that. But that's what they say. You can't knock the person that said it. But it's not going to be in Raleigh. It's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. So now we got a neutral. Yep. We got a Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got a neutral crowd, baby. Because you got Tennessee fans will come down and you got NC State fans will go up. But I think they'll be outnumbered by Tennessee fans in this one because Knoxville will be coming. Tennessee travels more than North Carolina State fans does travel.
You think? To Charlotte?
Yep. Trust me.
I mean, Raleigh is real close to Charlotte. NC State has a heck of an alumni. And that football program is something special.
Not North Carolina-based alumni. North Carolina's got the most alumni there.
NC State, they travel. They travel well. I think Carolina fans, NC State fans, are going to show up more than Tennessee fans. In Charlotte, at the stadium, yeah, give me NC State fans being there more supportive than Tennessee fans. No way in the hell. No way possible. No. And you talking about the kissing cousin syndrome. Look at this game. He got Knoxville and Raleigh. Somebody related in this bloodline.
I don't know, man, but that's you got the Mountaineers, you got the Volunteers out of the mountains of Knoxville against North Carolina State here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 78 degrees. What do you think about Tennessee's offense last week and the quarterback situation they have at Tennessee? Who did?
They have depth at the quarterback position. Tennessee does. That offense can be explosive. But they can also be their own problem. They can put up 21 points or they can put up 60 points, depending on which offense that you're looking at. But offensively, I like the quarterback situation that Tennessee brings to the table. They have options back there. If that's not working, hey, let's go here. We know there's proof in the pudding. Not many schools or programs can do that, have a two-headed formation at the quarterback position. We see it all the time, the running back, receiving core, and tight end defensively, but not too much at the quarterback position on the collegiate level.
Yeah, I look at that too. But you got McCall, who just transferred out of Coastal Carolina as an NC State's quarterback. These kind of struggle all the way against Western Carolina, all the way up to that fourth quarter when Waters, the Duke transfer running back, took over that ball game there. We don't see Waters could take over this ball game against Tennessee because Tennessee's defense is pretty good, pretty strong up front, and got a good linebacker core, got a good front seven. Where does NC State have to attack Tennessee's defense?
I'm going to hit him in the mouth right away. I'm checking you on the line. I'm being aggressive up the middle. I'm letting you know the blitz is coming. I'm not disguising nothing. I'm going to be that aggressive. You're going to see what I want to do. I'm bringing everybody up on the line. Everybody, let's go. Let's go. Everybody get up here. If I believe in my defense and I believe in the intangibles of the game, let's go. Let them make the mistake, not us. Put the mistake on them. A deflected ball at the line. That's called what? A tip drill. That's called what? A pick six. It's called we going this way. If they can do that, changing the intangibles of the game to their advantage, okay. But don't overdo it where there's no backup plan. Don't leave yourself on an island and there's no room for help. Keep that dude in the middle of the field back there. But everybody else come up to the line.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's another thing, too. But you got And, look at Tennessee. Both quarterbacks had over 300 yards passing last week. One had an interception, McCall. He had 3 touchdowns, 26 out of 40, 318 yards. I don't even know how to pronounce this guy's name. Alamaleva.
There we go.
22 out of 28, 314 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interception. But they also had a good running game. Both teams had good running backs. And Waters, for NC State, had 20 carries, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Sampson also had 12 carries, 124 yards, and 3 touchdowns. So they pretty much in tip for tap. But Concepcion could be a different maker for NC State and wide receiver. Tennessee defense can corral and try to take Concepcion away from NC State.
I could see both teams trying to replicate what they did last week in the hope of getting a win or getting a little bit more confidence in their defense or offense. But when it all comes down to it, you got to play the game of football between the hash marks. I think NC State has the advantage in this game, to me. I think they really do. Tennessee has more to lose and to prove in this matchup. Look at the hype from last year. Look how it ended. Look how the year started. Who has more to lose, Tennessee or NC State? Tennessee.
I think this could set NC State up perfectly. If they can beat Tennessee, gives them a momentum for the season. I think Tennessee momentum will continue if they beat NC State. But, to me, I think it's more effective for NC State to win this ball game than with Tennessee losing. I don't think it will affect Tennessee as much than what people think. But it will help North Carolina in setting their sights up throughout the season if they can get that momentum riding out of this Tennessee game. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
So that's why I look at it right there too. So to me, I think Tennessee has a better defense than NC State this year because Peyton Wilson is gone for NC State. That was the catalyst of last year's defense. That was the heart and soul of their defense. He led the team in interception, sacks. He put pressure on different plays, made all the key tackles. I don't think they have somebody that can match that intensity what Peyton Willis had in that year of last year for NC State. So I think NC State's defense is a little bit questioned to me, but Tennessee, I think, can take care of NC State if they get the running game and they get the dual passing game going. I think they have to be a dual threat to beat NC State. You just can't be a one-dimensional team to beat NC State this year. I think they have to be a multi-dimensional football team myself to get this game too. But like I said, the change of the whole scenery is Concepcion is the playmaker. He's the one who can do it on kickoff returns, punt returns, wide receiver. They run special plays for him and put him in the slot to put him outside. So that's all. That's all what you really can see there. So I think that's a playmaker difference. But NC State's got to watch out for Sampson. And also the Tennessee quarterback is a dual threat quarterback too. You can't be complacent on that. So
got to work for Sampson.
So who are you taking in this ball game?
I'm taking NC State.
You taking NC State? I'm taking Tennessee. All righty, let's go. Let's finish it all out here. We got a few more minutes here. Nichols at number 18, LSU. Who you taking?
I'm laughing at the LSU program, but I'm taking LSU.
Taking LSU too. Alcorn State at Vanderbilt. Surprising at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they won that game last week. I was shocked and amazed, but I'm taking Vandy as well. I'm
taking Vandy too, going 2-0. Colorado at Nebraska, 7:30 NBC Peacock. This is what Rule says right here. Can Deion Sanders make Rule pay with his comments about the Big Ten?
This game going to be more about hype than it's on the gridiron.
As in Lincoln, Nebraska. So
right. the Nebraska fans have been speaking all week. Some of it is very ill-advised. I don't understand how people automatically go to race when they're trying to make their point when it comes to sports. Really? That's where we're going right now. I mean, how does the whole concept of debating, talking about sports, proving who your team is, bringing to the table why you like this team, automatically go to race? I don't get it when it comes to that. And both of those are both schools both of those are very white towns. Very white. Very, very, very white. And the fact that the Nebraska fans went there, that pisses me off about sports, man. If you just can't talk about the numbers and the statistics and the players, the matchup, the measuring moments that make sense, I'm not talking outside of that. I don't care where you're from, your race, creed, color, religion. I really don't care. Can you coach this team to a dub? What you bring into the table? That's all I want to hear about. That's it. I don't want to hear the racial epithets these people were throwing out, man, was just over a football game that hasn't been played yet. And Nebraska hasn't been relevant in 30 years. 30 years. Nebraska has not been relevant. The volleyball team have done more than the football team. The baseball team has done more than the football team. Hell, the soccer team has done more than the football team. But these football fans want to take it to a racial situation. Get the fuck out of here. That is ill-advised on all counts, all bulletins. Those fans should be banned from social media, banned from any sporting event. When you go there, I'm taking all your privileges away. I'm taking it all away.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think where racism is and putting it in sports and talking about all kinds of stuff. To me, that's not where God was made intended to be. He loved everybody from all different colors. You can be black, blue, green, purple, greenish people. He loved them all. I think that's what kind of hard people need to have. Not look at the skin color. I still don't get why people are looking at the skin color. We all just made the same. We all made the same. We all got blood. We all got blood. We all got hearts. We all got same kind of function going on. We both live the same way, breathing the same air. So I mean, nobody's different. So
at all.
Yeah. So that's just the way I look at it.
But they're not.
When I introduce people, I look at their name, what their mom gave them, and that's how I do. You respect me, I respect you, and peace on that. But to me, I think I don't know exactly what Roll was saying about Big Ten having 4 teams in this playoffs. I really don't see Michigan probably being in the playoffs this year. I don't see some of the Big Ten teams in there. I don't even see Nebraska being in there right now. But I think Colorado's going to win this ball game today.
I don't give a damn if that's Patrick Mahomes' brother, let alone his cousin.
Yeah.
And they're overusing that pedigree right now, like for real. Like, really? Really? Come on now. No. Can't do that. Mahomes versus Dion. That makes no sense to me. No. Don't overdo what's in front of you. They're reaching for stories. They're reaching for content. They're reaching for clickability. That's what they're doing. They want that clickbait. You keep on, you're going to get what they call it, catfished. Okay?
Yeah.
What the young kids are getting caught up in, catfished. There you go. You keep on. Man, the big house looks packed. Goodness.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be packed for that one. So who are you taking in this one? You taking the Colorado too, or are you taking Nebraska?
I'm taking Nebraska, man. Colorado looks like the same team from last year. They have not improved offensively on the line. The play calling is suspect. There is no special teams. And will Travis Hunter get tired today? The dude plays every damn down. And what he does to his body after the games would make the most comfortable human throw up. What that man body goes through after he gets done playing football, what he does to recover.
Yeah, I look at that too. And I look at that situation, but I got Colorado. I think Colorado's a little bit more improved than Nebraska has shown me from last year to this year. Stephen F. Austin at North Texas.
Last week.
Stephen F. Austin at North Texas. Who you got?
North Texas.
You taking North Texas? They won last week. I'm gonna take them this week. Houston at number 15. Oklahoma. Who you got?
Oklahoma.
I'm taking Oklahoma. All right. SEC Appalachian State invades Clemson. Death Valley today. Number 25. Clemson takes on App State at 8 o'clock. ACC Network. Who you got?
It's a dangerous game. I'm going for the upset. Give me App State.
Yeah, I took App State in this one too myself.
I think Dabo is at his lowest point, where he's calling his brother-in-law for marital advice type shit. He's at his lowest point. He don't even like that son of a bitch. When you calling people for support that you don't like, that speaks volumes to me. That's where Dabo Swinney is at right now. Tried to tell you this 4 years ago, but he didn't want to listen. He didn't want to listen. The hell?
Yeah, so you got Long Island University at TCU, 8 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Who you got?
Who the hell is Long Island? Give me TCU.
Long Island University.
I know what a horned frog is. Give me that.
I'm taking UTC. Southern Utah at UTEP. Who you got?
Give me University of Texas, El Paso, baby. UTEP.
Taking that one too. Boise State at number 7, Oregon. Who you got?
I like Oregon in this one. My son, he likes that team. Give me Oregon.
Yeah, I got Oregon too. North Arizona at number 20, Arizona. Who you got?
Arizona.
Taking Arizona also in this one. Texas Tech at Washington State. Who you got?
Texas Tech.
Yeah, Texas Tech, the Red Raiders at Washington State, the Cougars.
Give me the Red Raiders, Texas Tech.
I'm taking Washington State on this one. Sacramento State at Fresno State.
Well, Fresno State couldn't run the ball last week, so they're going to try to nullify that this week by making a standard in the statement. Give me Fresno State.
Liberty at New Mexico State.
Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual. Give me Liberty.
Give me Mexico State in this one. Mississippi State at Arizona State.
Mississippi State. In the words of Daffy Duck, Mississippi State.
I'm gonna take Arizona State in this one. Oregon State at San Diego State. Who you got?
Ooh. Got the Aztecs against the Ducks. That the Ducks? No, that's Oregon State is
the Beavers.
The Beavers. Ooh, nobody messes with the Beaver. Ward, I think you're a little hard on the Beaver last night. Give me Oregon State.
You taking Oregon State? I'm taking San Diego State. Utah State at number 13, USC. Who you got?
I want to believe in this USC program. Give me that. Give me the Trojans, the real men of Troy.
Yep, I'm taking them too. All right, that finishes out the Saturday night games. We have over 75. We have 75 games on Saturday. And then let's see here. Let's see what the Friday night matchups are real quick here. For week 3, because we got to pick those. We got to pick those matchups ahead of time. So let's see what week 3 brings us here for Friday. Yep, it's a Friday game. All right, you got UNLV and Kansas. Who you got?
Me, Kansas.
I'm taking Kansas also in that one. All righty. And then number 20, Arizona against number 17, Kansas State. Who you got?
Give me Kansas State.
You taking Kansas State in that one? I'm going to take Arizona in that one. All right, my friend. There we go. We got all the games picked for those two games. And then we'll be back on Saturday, September 14th. You got anything you want to discuss about what happened in week 1 that piqued your interest besides your Gators?
Yes, I do. Got my note card. Okay. What I noticed last week in the first official full Saturday of college football was the speed. What I did not like was the in-game adjustments of what happened in the second half. Yes, there were 4 teams in the SEC that scored over 60 points. We get all of that. But the SEC as a whole, how was the competitive play across the board? The way the transfer portals players look, I think 63% of them had a B+ grade out there. The rest didn't get in the game or was not impactful during the game. I think the most impactful transfer portal player had to be Miami's quarterback. And the way he destroyed and did his own thing against Florida's defense was crazy to me. I think another big win, hit and miss, had to be the Mizzou game. The Mizzou game, yeah, that was not a big matchup for them, but I think it was more or less, hey, let me show you how this program is going to change. I think a lot of programs had that. The matchup was not where the fans wanted to be or the fandom or college football wanted to be, but I guarantee it's there this week or either next week for the program. But a lot of programs last week used that, hey, I don't give a damn who this is out here on the field. Here's what we're doing the whole year. And I think Mizzou, M-I-Z-Z-O-U, really made their statement on what that football program is going to be. You even yourself picked them being in that playoff tree. A lot of people have them going undefeated, doing big things in the SEC. I don't know. Maybe it's early. August and September, it's early football to me. I mean, the girl is still attractive. The guy is still nice in those months. Next month is when we find out who's the asshole in the relationship. Yeah, that's when we find out. He's the nicest guy ever. Oh, she's the best woman ever. Talk to me in 3 months. They still opening the door. They still saying thank you. I mean, let me know. What I understand people say, oh, it's the nicest person ever. You've known this person less than a month. You've yet to see them mad. See them mad. See them at their lowest point when they had a bad work day and they got to spend time with you. Then tell me if the motherfucker's still nice. But just from a text and a headline, oh, it's the nicest person I ever met. That's serial killers are born.
Yeah. What surprised me was that UCLA-Hawaii game. Hawaii was winning all the way up until I went to bed. And then I come back and they lost the game by 3 points. So
that game was crazy. That was the craziest, wildest game. And Deshaun Foster still looked lost. That horrible speech he gave on press conference day, telling everybody where UCLA is located. Really? Really? That whoever wrote that speech for you, I hope you fired them. They need to go. Dismissed from the squad.
And then the other game that surprised me out of week 1 was the Virginia Tech Vanderbilt game. I thought Virginia Tech would at least put up a better fight than what they did, but that game came all the way down to 2 overtimes, and then that one play at the end, he threw the ball too high, and the dude got clean clock. So.
I'm convinced that the Vanderbilt baseball players went to the game and rooted on the football players. I'm convinced of that. I'm convinced because there's no way that football program slid that far from the days of the the quarterback that Denver had that sent to Chicago. The hell was his name? Oh my God. What was his name? The dude that quarterback that Vandy went to Denver and Chicago. Oh. Well, that football program has been nothing since his days. Since his days. When they had him and his best friend was his receiver. And they both played at Denver at one time. And then they both went to Chicago. Who the hell was that? What the hell is that dude's name? Jake? Nope. He was left-handed.
For what?
The quarterback that came out of Vandy that went to Denver and Chicago.
Oh.
What the hell was his name? That's the last time Vanderbilt football program was relevant. Yeah, that's the last time. Oh, man, God. He has a podcast, the dude, the receiver. He's very outspoken.
You talking about the quarterback that went there, or are you talking about
the quarterback? What was the quarterback name?
Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Jay Cutler.
Yeah, Jay Cutler. That's the last time Vanderbilt football program was even talked about, when he was there. And he had the receiver that played at Denver and Chicago with him, his best friend. And he does a podcast now. What's his name? He's very outspoken. Oh, man. Son of a gun. Well, I can't think of football players on Sundays, on Saturdays. For no reason at all. Can't think of them. But they were a unique tandem at that school. And watching Vandy play last week was I'm not going to say it reminded me of the days when he was there, but it was different seeing them play that way, ball out that way. In the words of Terrell Suggs, ball so hard. We covered all the games.
Yeah, we covered all the games. We got all the picks in. So we got 3 minutes here, and we're probably going to go ahead and cut it off right here at this point. We'll be back next week. Next Saturday at the same time, 9 to 12, with more pick'ems, more breakdowns, more graphics added on each time. Probably add a little bit more things too. Hopefully we can get some fan interaction here. It's kind of hard with StreamYard and stuff itself to get some active polls live on board of StreamYard. I'm trying to work with them. Hopefully they'll get some going where we can have some more interactives here on StreamYard itself.
Right.
So till then, I'm Ray. I'm Dre. This is the All Sports, All Plays College Breakdown on All Sports, All Plays Network. Hope you have a good Saturday afternoon. I'll be driving and listening to all the college football games while I'm driving to Miami today. Take care.
Have fun at the game, buddy.
Oh, I will.
We'll look for you on TV.
Try.
Make it on TV.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.